We're back.
Please initiate the start.
Commence to
Hello, Johnny
initiating
Spoons.
said start.
Commence.
Please initiate the start.
Start.
Commence
Hello,
to
Johnny
initiating
Spoons.
said start.
Commence.
That was the deadest silence. Commence start.
So
Pause for effect.
here's the thing. Here's the problem. I was watching Twitch earlier, and so like I had the volume on, and so you said commence to initiating start, and then 5 seconds later you were like commence to initiating start, and then a little bit quieter. It was
Lovely.
commence to initiating start. So you gotta.
Mm.
I had to fix
always
that.
boast being grandiose, so I'm glad that really translated through.
Please commence. So I wanna tell everybody about a hilarious thing that happened in my game last night that does not have to do anything at all with the game tonight. So
GM
my Thursday night game that I run is a Witcher game, and they went up against a very powerful mage running a Salamandra cell. So basically a mage running like a branch of the mob. It's a thing in the games, and the mage that they went up against, everybody was talking about her as if like you're gonna lose because you think that you're gonna go in there with all your magic spells and just beat her up, and that'll never work. She has stronger magic than you. She is magic. You guys are nothing.
Yeah.
And then when they went in to fight her, they like didn't use magic. They just stabbed her, and it worked real well because what the guys were saying was completely true. It was like she was functionally immune to the magic of other people, unless you knew her true name, which none of them knew. But they didn't know that. They were just like charge, and they like hit her with a cleaver. One of them was like throwing magic spears at her, and I was just like, fuck, like I really didn't plan for this to work the way it is. I planned for maybe a few more wasted turns. But one of the players in the group has a blood magic talent, and their blood magic talent lets them sacrifice something, and in exchange they can target something else, and it guarantees that their magic works unless there's something else on that creature that guarantees that it won't.
Oh, okay.
And the player did not know that the enemy mage had the true name thing on there. So the player and an NPC both had this blood magic ability, and so the NPC was like, "Do you have the materials required to use blood magic?" And she was like, "Nah." And so the NPC was like, "I'll bring it." And they were like, "What do you mean you'll bring it?" And she goes, "Well, every few months I spread an assortment of kittens among the local populace. And in the event that I need blood magic, I just get them back." And so when they encounter this NPC, she's just carrying a bag of cats.
That's
And they're like, she's kind of terrifying. And it's like, yeah, it's like slightly tweaking the witch. She might be a villain. And
wow.
And this player's character, who is kind of a lovable goof, also has this blood magic thing, just because that's the kind of magic he's been trained to use. And there was a point in the fight with the witch where he's like, "All right, I'm going to use the blood magic thing." And I go, "Okay." And he goes, so I grab a cat and I break it, and then I go, "Agnar, go!" And I go, "Wait, you're boosting Agnar's spells?" And she goes, "Well, I don't have any offensive spells." And the following round, that dude didn't even capitalize on it. He just stabbed her.
You killed a kitten for nothing.
Yeah. And so I got to do like my happy sort of just twist the knife moment of this was, "Hey, does anybody else want some of this Kit Kat?"
Oh my god.
Yeah, break me off his piece.
And Cole was like, "That's the funniest joke I can never tell anyone that I talk about D&D with." And I said, "No, fuck that. I'm gonna tell everybody." It's fake. It didn't really happen. Whatever. Yeah, they won through like sheer tenacity and terrible dice luck on my part. They went up against overwhelming numbers, and I rolled something like 15 critical failures.
They Zmichi'd.
Yeah, the dice hated me. I had this dude who the NPCs were calling the fish, and the fish was a mook from Salamandra, and Salamandra like mutates their dudes. They're like making fake witchers, basically.
Okay.
Salamandra mutates some of their guys, and this guy they mutated, and the mutagens that they gave him were solely from drowners and water hags. So he had like moist black skin, and he could swim really well, and he had like huge fanged teeth and like these glassy eyes. And my thought was that he could get in there and just use his claws and just mess somebody up. And like every time he hits you, he's doing the water hag thing where he's like covering you with mud and making it hard to see and that sort of thing. And what actually happened is he charged Cole's character. I rolled a 100, which is the worst critical failure you can roll. And he basically jumped at Cole, and Cole like raised his shield, and the dude just smacked into the shield and then sort of hung himself up on the barrier. And he was just hung there. And on Cole's turn, he's like, well, that guy's there, so swing. And his damage dice exploded like 4 times, and that dude just got instant gibbed. And I was like, man, this is like, wow. Like, I thought that guy was going to be like a threat. Like, I had like a bunch of dudes in the fight, but only like 3 or 4 threats. The threats were really just supposed to tie them down so the other guys could do stuff. And one of the threats got taken out with a single sword swing. And I was like, yeah, fuck.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I also have to call out Andy real fast. Because somebody is now bringing people who aren't even a part of this to send me messages, links to the stream.
We just want to make sure that you're connected to your own projects.
Like, he sends a message to our buddy Dirtles and goes, send this to Travis. And so she sends it to me and goes, I was supposed to send this to you? And I was like, send it back.
Send it to Travis. There's no time to explain.
Bastard. I have to become more coy and clever.
Yep.
Have you guys seen that game on Steam? It's called like There's No Time to Explain.
I own it. I beat it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that it goes into the whole trope of like, we have to go. There's no time to explain. And then you're just like doing this whole thing for hours and you never get an explanation.
No, it doesn't. And at the start of the level, you just see this guy getting carried away by this giant like crab thing. And that's it. That's all you get.
Yep. That gave me a good laugh. Thank you, Dirtles.
I'm gonna have to have a talk with her.
Well, give her a stern talking to. All right. So, first order of business, so that everybody knows. Justin playing Quintus won't be with us here tonight. He's not feeling too well. Thankfully, it is just a migraine and not a spiky ball, but he will be out for the night. So I will be Muppeting Quintus. Standard Muppet rules apply, but please don't make me talk to myself too much. Other stuff. Did anybody else have anything they want to mention?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nothing came to mind.
Well, then quick recap. Last week we started out in the cave. We were in the cave.
Cave.
They found a... Hold on. I will get to news here. They found a cave below one of the wells, which is a small river where the water of that well comes from. And right around this area, they fought a swarm of small oozes that are called blood bloaters, which I believe I have a picture of somewhere. Apparently not, and that's fine. So they fought a swarm of oozes called blood bloaters. Blood bloaters sort of look like an egg, like a freshly cracked egg, if you replace the yolk with red instead of yellow. And as they hit you, they kind of like drain your strength, because that's they're them draining your blood, and then they get more and more and more red. And they just were kind of a pain to fight because they're swarms, and if you haven't fought a swarm in Pathfinder, they suck. It's like half the rules don't apply to them. They don't take weapon damage, or they take very little, and but they take extra damage from AoE attacks.
The thing that I had a question about was, can a blood bloater get so, like, you know how I've heard when a mosquito bites you and you flex or something, they explode. Could that happen to a blood bloater? It's ill-advised, but if something like that happens, you just Macho Man Randy Savage that fucker out of you.
Congratulations.
I'm
you've
gonna
turned the ooze into a larger size category.
Yeah. I'm gonna say no because it sounds ridiculous.
That's why I needed the clarification.
Yeah. So they had all the ooze traits and all the swarm traits, which combined make them kind of more of a threat than either of those would be on their own. So they fought those, and then they moved down a little bit, and they discovered sort of a flat, like basically this is a stone that fell from the ceiling at some point, and it's sort of a flat flatter rock. The river goes around it. There's a bunch of algae on it, but they also discovered a backpack and some sort of like bandages there, and they found a bunch of little splats, like little circular splats of blood all around this area, and that was pretty much where Paravelkin sort of when she ran from the blood boat, this is what they were able to kind of determine. When she ran from the blood bloaters, she got there and healed herself up, and then she moved away from that, and then they continued following her track. I believe it was Sharut who was following her tracks along the wall, and she was kind of like doing what she could to jump from rock to rock, but not always making it. So it was like jump from the rock and then splash into the water and then climb up on the rocks and do what she could to jump from rock to rock to rock. And then they got to here, which is a little landing that has a nice salt barrier, and they were like, this salt barrier must be to keep out the blood bloaters. And they walked across it and kind of, they got it all wet. And so the salt barrier wasn't really a barrier in this little square right here. And I believe 4 of them walked across it and got a little wet and was like, that's fine. And then Delian was like, fuck your salt, and like kicked water on it. And then a giant slug came from over here and started moving towards them all, and they were like, oh shit, we need the salt. And the big thing about the slug wasn't necessarily that it was very fast, though it was faster than you might expect for a slug, but it spit acid, and it was just a pile of hit points. But they were able to take it down, and they were able to take it down by Lumio sort of firing blasts at it, and Dandarin kind of hitting it with a salted hammer. And I believe it was ended when Sharut just picked up the whole barrel of salt and threw it on the slug. And so then they went to this tunnel, and a couple of them made some perception checks, and they realized that inside that tunnel is a bit of light. There was a bit of light in there, and they were like, oh, that's a little weird, because we're in kind of a weird underground river cave sort of structure. So let's go down here and see what's what. And so they went down, and they ended up here. This is where they entered. Team Tall, which is everybody above 3'5" on the party, decided they were going to hang out and let Team Tiny, which is everybody shorter than that, sneak up and sort of scout ahead. So Team Tiny went to scout ahead, and Delian failed to open the lock, and then decided in true Delian fashion that meant the lock could not be opened.
Yes.
And so then Quintus tried to open the lock and just botched his roll real bad. And so then Sharut tried to open the lock, and Sharut opened the lock, but then also because of how badly Quintus botched it, the lock fell out of the door. And then what they see is this person right here, who I will describe again. Hold on. I'm realizing that I didn't have her name on it. So they see a woman who is a half-elven woman. She has sort of long brown hair. She is extremely pale. She has red eyes that are just red. There's no white in the sclera there. Kind of like clawed fingers and big fangs. And she's got, she's dressed kind of similar to how Sharut might dress if he wasn't out adventuring. She's got an apron on with like a bunch of stuff in it, little like vials and those kind of things. And she saw the group, and then as Sharut opened the door, and then called back and said, Nemeth, we have intruders. And he said, well, that's not good, but it might be exciting. And that's where we stopped. So, at this point, what would you all like to do?
Close the...
I know what I would like to do.
Sure.
I'm going to say run, assuming they know where to run. And then I'm going to drop a sphere of darkness and spend a shadow point, making it pure darkness.
Okay. So how dark are you making it?
It's...
How large are you making it? Not how dark. My bad.
Okay. I will probably say I did not know I could do that. How fun. How do I get rid of it?
I think 40 is your max or something like that.
Something like that. Something like this.
So that's 20-foot radius, or 25-foot radius. I will go with that.
Yeah. Actually, I'll do 20. That way, because most of our movement is 20, so I want to make sure we can get out of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, he drops a sphere of solid blackness, just inky, cloying darkness, and says, "Run." Sharut, what do you do?
Taking his advice, and I'm running.
And Quintus will say, "Yeah, that makes sense," and he will move back. And at one point, I imagine that the two of you will get out of the inky blackness in time to see that, like, Quintus is not necessarily running. He has these little sort of dragonfly wings that are sprouted out of his back, and he's just like, just flying along. Yeah, go ahead and move yourself to where you run to.
Oh my god, I need to. There we go.
I'm just gonna take a run action.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, same.
Okay, I can move. Hey, let go.
I'll get to about.
So that's 50, and then that's 10.
Okay.
Like, I'll just get right behind Quintus.
Sounds good. While the two of you are doing that,
Because they can only see 5 feet in front of them, I believe, regardless of magical vision.
okay, sounds good.
Double check.
So Lumio and Dandarin and Forsidna, the three of you, see the other 3 members of your group all just kind of like move in front of you at a full run, just not necessarily yelling or screaming in fear or anything, but they are definitely booking.
I assume something's gone wrong.
Yeah, that's about right. Dandarin just to make sure he's got his hammer and shield at the ready, and just
So,
I was
I'm
gonna-
just dropping a totem.
cool bit of fun. Dark vision is reduced to 5 feet. In addition, all other senses, blind sight, scent, etc., are reduced by half.
Okay, sounds good.
See in darkness is unaffected, so I guess there's that.
See in darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And yeah. So Dandarin, you and Forsidna start moving close. Are moving up. Lumio, Forsidna will tell you, like, stay behind me, and sort of move up with Dandarin at the front. Yeah. So what would you all like to do?
I already said I'm gonna drop a totem here. I'm just gonna drop the one that gives us a bonus to damage done, because that's a freebie, and I'm gonna use a spell point to cause it to last a full minute.
And you're dropping it here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I realize that it's not bending around the corner, but I figure we should take a stand in this hallway anyway. So
I believe you're at 70 feet now. I'm going to lower the opacity of that a little bit. There we go.
it is like hot fire.
He's like hot fire.
what happened? Why are you all running?
Luck drops. Caught attention.
On the opposite end of the door was a bunch of baddies. Assume, I guess.
What made you assume that they were baddies?
They said it would be fun that they had intruders.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Intruders, that'll be fun. He means to kill me! Run!
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, it makes sense.
intruders, that'll be fun. Let's play board games. I don't think that's how it's going to play out.
That'll be fun. You play Magic?
Prefer to defend yourself in Parcheesi?
How about a sporting game of cribbage?
Cribbage.
You'll have to teach me the rules. Oh, this is going to be very fun.
And then we can play backgammon.
Oh, I like that one.
Do you feel in charge?
Do I look like the player of games?
I don't
Dude,
know what
I-
I'm talking in my head.
I love that apocalypse picture. Apocalypse
know.
going, do I look like a player of games? And then his grandson answering, yes, very much so. So stupid.
I don't know why this image popped into my head, but when you said, "Do you feel in charge?" I just imagined Bane like immediately shaking like the boggle.
Do you feel in charge? And then shaking the boggle, twisting the little thing to 60 seconds. Oh, cat. C-A-T. Bogglebane sounds fucking hilarious.
Nobody respected me until I put the 5 letters down.
I'm going to break you. B-R-E-A-C.
Over my knee, Knee.
That's some like writer shit where you go, all right, we're gonna play Boggle. You got 90 seconds to come up with words, and then you have to put them all in a paragraph. Go. It's like, oh man. Yeah.
Sorry.
Sharuda's told you that, yeah, somebody said, well, intruders could be fun.
Right. Well, get behind us.
Like, I don't know if we're in turn order or not, but I'm gonna try to get back there as fast as we can.
You're not in turn order, so I'm just kind of going by, what actions you guys are taking and, yeah, that sort of thing.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Dendron, when you get up to here, and you look to your right, there is
absolute darkness.
There is impenetrable darkness.
I mean, you can see
and
to about right here.
No, it ends right here. Like that's the measurement that you gave me.
Yeah. It expanded more.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, you see impenetrable darkness, and you can make out. You don't have to get a perception check for this or anything. You can make out the sound of somebody, like metal on metal, like a little like tink 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 tink.
Liam, was that you're doing?
Yeah.
What?
Travis, did you spend a spell point on the darkness? You said.
Yeah, I had to spend a spell point or a shadow point to make it pure darkness to get that talent. But are you asking a spell point to keep it going?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I tried to keep them disoriented as long as possible.
So
really.
I'm trying to see how long that makes it last. Or it'll last for 1 minute per caster level without concentration if you spend a spell. Okay, so it'll last for 4 minutes.
That's a lot. I can drop it whenever, because obviously we're trying to get something.
Yeah, if you want, as a standard action, you can concentrate on your own effects and make them go down.
Then I think since we're all kind of situated now, I'll be like, all right, get ready, guys, and then I'll just drop when everybody gives the I'm ready sort of thing. I'll drop it.
Okay. So what happens when you do that is the rest of you see that there is actually, I don't know, can you see it? I don't think you can, because vision still is not working for Dandarin. Dandarin, what you see is a door right here that is closed.
So I can see the door. There's pure blackness right here. There's weird shapy blackness here.
You can see?
I can't actually see this section.
There's
Well, you can't see that section because there's a door that's closed right there.
this right here.
No, I can't.
I don't know how to delete that.
Or I'm seeing it like I should with my dark vision. I'll put it that way.
Oh, well, good. So yeah, you see that there is a door right here that is closed. And
back here.
That's it. That's pretty much it. That's all you see.
Right, door, pure blackness. I'm not doing. I'm just doing this to clear it off my map. I'm not doing. That is.
You know what I realize? With all our vision problems, I have the shittiest character for that.
You do mess with the
Oh, we
vision
finally
a lot.
fixed our vision.
Yeah.
Inky darkness.
I know, like I fucking, this is very on brand for me, really.
Yeah.
You wanted to see? Nah.
So,
Bad.
what would you all like to do?
A chaotic neutral character in the book.
I suppose we press forward. Yeah.
He's Dandarin's gonna point and just kind of motion for them to go kind of lockstep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Forsidna's going to stand there looking down the hallway at Lumio. Are you coming or are you staying?
I assumed that we were about to have a combat. Are we not?
I don't know if we are or not, but if you are standing that far away, I cannot protect you.
Well, all right then.
And Tisha, are you coming?
Yes, I'll be coming. Don't worry about me. And yeah, you guys continue moving up a little bit. There is a point where, you're moving and Forsidna can't see anymore because she doesn't have dark vision and is a human down here. So, Lumio's presence helps with that a little bit.
Yeah.
And at that point,
I'm illuminating.
Lumio and Forsidna and everybody, you can see the door. And you see that it has been closed, and it looks like the bit of the door with the lock has been put back up.
That's hysterical. I guess they left.
That's the tinkering that you heard, was him fixing what you guys broke.
That's so funny. That's so good.
Don't like it fixed. Dandrin, break again.
All right. Delian, give me your tools.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have your own toes. I see. Just don't break them.
I won't.
I guess if anybody, you'd be able to fix him.
So I do have an important question. Do you have masterwork tools?
I don't.
Okay, just regular tools. Good to know.
We have some for sale.
Let me get that.
Perhaps you could have Sharut take out a loan.
Yeah, sure. You're good for it, right? I try and unlock the door.
It doesn't move. You're tinkering at it, and it doesn't unlock. And on the other side, you hear, "Go away. There's nothing for you here."
Well, it's a bit contrary, but I believe there might be something back there for us.
I promise you.
If you don't want to fight, we don't want to fight you. It's that simple.
I don't have a choice in the matter. If you press the issue, you'll die. If you leave, you live.
Well, that seems rather hostile.
No, you're the one trying to barge into our dwelling. Go away.
Just mention we're on a mission. Maybe that'll help.
We're
looking for someone. There you go. Should I take over, Dandrin?
You know what? You're much better at this than I am. Yes.
Yes. I apologize for the intrusion so unintentionally harsh earlier. We are looking for someone who recently came this direction, though we don't know that they have entered your dwelling, who was severely injured, and we are sought to sake them by Orgev himself.
Give me a diplomacy check.
Sure. Skills. There we go. Diplomacy. Yeah.
My guy.
How we doing tonight, chat? You
My-
see this shit?
My guy.
And he
Is
goes,
this something where you might want to reroll that, maybe?
Yeah.
I can't. I actually spent all of my hero points on the stuff a couple of weeks ago.
yeah.
Brutal.
So
Yeah, this felt like it was important. All right.
yeah. You remember the last time I rolled a 1 on something really important? It was when I used my hero points.
I actually, so I will say, because you guys, this is not the charity that it seems like in this particular instance. It's just that your failure reminded me of it. I meant to give you guys all a hero point after the slug fight last week.
Oh.
So you all have an additional one. I'm not saying that you should roll it on this, but you guys all do have an additional hero.
Yeah, you gave.
You did say that because of all the clever stuff we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole team was like really working together and like coming together as a party, and I thought it was pretty cool. So everybody got a hero point. And
Okay.
again, I'm not saying, and now you should roll it here. I just wanted to make sure that I remembered to do that.
He's just heavily implying it.
No, I'm really not.
But Andy, if you keep it, it'll just burn a hole in that pocket of yours.
I have other things that burn that for me. So
And you have no pockets. Last I checked.
But why are you checking if I have pockets?
Just checking your pockets for loose change and other such
Yeah.
valuables.
Yeah.
Which is why I only keep up little bits of meat.
Okay.
Good flex, but all right.
Yeah, I started doing it as a way to appease Stalwart, but it has served as a deterrent for Delian on multiple occasions.
He's not a fucking dog that you throw treats to. He's a large person who enjoys gourmet food. You fuck.
I started it as a practice to appease Stalwart.
After a while, I realized throwing sausages at the bulldozer-shaped man was probably a problem.
Okay, so are you
seemed-
gonna re-roll
Anyway.
that, or are you gonna keep it?
I would like to keep it because that's a chance for me to not die later, and I need that.
All right, yep, all right.
It's true.
And so the man that you hear behind the door says, "That's understandable, but it doesn't matter to me. My job is to keep the door shut and people out."
Artie failed at job.
No, he's
He's
he
being
didn't keep the
successful,
door shut, but he
Shrewd.
kept the people
Well,
out.
I mean, if you want to press the point, open the door again, little goblin. Come in. Press how I failed it. But I have no problem with you. We have no quarrel with you. We don't want quarrel with you. You press this, I will try to kill every last one of you.
Well, I don't like that.
Lumia's
Someone
leaving.
else prior to us tried to enter your domicile.
She was allowed.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate.
I guess answer me this, and then we're just trying to see if Para's okay. If she's okay, then that's good. And when she's ready to leave on this journey that we were quested to go on, that's cool. And she can stay there for as long as she wants. I know she's been in dire straits.
Give me a diplomacy check there, Delian.
Sure. Let me just pull up. And I'm going to spend a hero point on this.
Okay.
Oh, I almost rolled disguise. That's not right. Disguise my lie.
Nice.
And you rolled
What
a
the
20.
hell?
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Offset
Perfectly
the
balanced.
absolute atrocity.
I mean, it's a pretty good atrocity, all things considered.
I really okay. So I want to talk about the Thanos scene. The perfectly balanced as all things should be. That knife looks like a piece of shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah. How the
And
fuck
he
did
just
you
keeps
use
going
that
like
knife?
perfectly balanced as all things should be. And I was like, that is the worst looking pocket knife I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's the handle's 3 inches wide with a blade on either. Who would use it? Who cares if it's perfectly balanced?
It's
It's
not
barely
for
a
use.
utility tool.
It's his explanation knife. It exists for that purpose.
It exists for that
Got it 'cause it was
explanation.
balanced.
It must be. It hits that same nerve that what's the double-edged sword that you're like, this is dumb.
He's got
It's
a knife for multiple purposes. So,
that
like,
knife exists
that knife
to
is for
explain to
his
children why
explanation.
he's going to kidnap them. That's why that knife exists.
That's not good.
He's got a knife with a pencil on the other end for writing documents. He's got
Everything is a double-sided. He's got double-sided spoons,
Balanced.
double-sided spoons, double forks. His chopsticks are all chopped.
They're all chopped.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Delian, there's some whispering on the other side of the door, and you hear the woman go, "Tell them they might go." And then the man says, "She's safe. She survived whatever happened. That's what I can tell you."
Okay.
Dandarin's going to sense move.
Sure. Give me a sense motive.
Here comes another one.
It sounds like he's being legit.
All right. Good to know.
See, patient.
No, she's beyond your skills now.
That's ominous.
Thanks for letting us know. I guess we'll go back to Prince Orgev and let him know what's happened. And then Delian turns to start leaving.
Okay.
Dandarin's going to follow, but he's going to kind of like motion like silently for people to like not go all the way to like kind of like
Make the loud
Right about.
stomping noise as we walk away quickly, and then pretend to get quieter and quieter.
Do the
Right.
Austin Powers thing where you like go down the stairs behind the couch. Yeah. Okay. So you
We,
guys move back into the tunnel.
can't leave until we've confirmed with our eyes that she's all right.
Why?
Because that's our job. We're
Is it?
escorts. Yes.
I mean-
it is explicitly our job.
We haven't taken.
Expressly our purpose.
We have
We
not
accepted
taken.
it.
We have not started that job.
We did.
We accepted the job, but we have not started it. There is a difference.
There's
no
complications
excuse.
on said job. Yeah.
Job was
These
to
things happened.
job was to pick her up
Yes.
and take her to place. Have yet to pick her up. Still on job.
So we will explain the situation to Orgev.
So
Sorry. We just didn't bother to investigate thoroughly, and she got kidnapped, and something happened.
She
She's
went
safe.
here of her own volition
Yeah, and the fact
while
that
bleeding under extreme duress, as
If-
she felt it was protection.
if we go in there, we have now made aggressors of people who don't want to aggress. So to me, this seems pretty amicable. We just go to Prince Orgev, hey, there's people in a well, blah, blah, blah. And then we get a holy ordained order from royalty whether to pursue them or not.
Charlotte
You lot do
agreed.
that. I'm not leaving. I'm not going to enter in. I'm not going to go barging. I'm not going to leave.
All right.
Walk back, but he's only going to go to about this stupid light view.
Shrewd will sigh a bit and
He's going to be there.
kind of look at the group of them because he knows Frasidna is going to go with Lumio, and he knows Quintus is probably going to go back with them as well. It's like,
Charlotte stay with Dandrin. Make sure not kill himself.
and yeah, he'll,
Right.
where are you at, Dandrin? Oh, there you are. Oh, it's because
It's that dark vision nonsense. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I apologize. With that, Lumio, what do you want to do?
I'll go back to the rope and attempt to get up it.
All right, and looks like Delian's AFK. So, all right, so you're leaving. So Frasidna's going to leave with you, because she sort of feels that you have absolutely no shot of getting up unless she helps you.
She's probably right.
Overall opinion, what does Quintus do?
Quintus
I think Quintus would probably also go.
Quintus probably
to-
would have tried to talk himself into that, so he probably would have made that. Barring that, since he's not here to make that,
I mean,
he'd go back to Orgev and just be like, "We need a missive."
I think he. would
Delian got a
either-
20 on a diplomacy roll. This is as good as you guys can get. Like,
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
that Quintus would go to Orgev. Just basically what Eric said. Just be like, he reports to Orgev. That's kind of been one of his biggest roles, I believe.
Okay. All right. And then Delian, are you going or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna be going.
All right. Well then, the looks like the four of you. I'm gonna copy your characters, but I'm not gonna actually, I don't need to copy them. They should still be on the other map. So as they're going, Sharut and Dandarin, you're just gonna wait, I assume.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Sharut, I'm gonna do a thing real quick where I'm going to give you 60 feet of dim light.
Yay!
And now you and Dandarin can actually see things. So, all right.
Hooray.
And then back to the cave. To the cave. So we have Sharut and Dandarin staying, and everybody else decides that they're going back. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, grab this group, move this group over here. It looks so
Quintus's
weird.
wings are really coming into play here.
Yeah. I
I'm just
imagine
hearing that.
I imagine that
that
Quintus's wings and Delian's hookshot are going to be literally necessary to get Lumio to the top of this thing.
Oh yeah.
because the only way I can imagine this happening is if you jury rig in the extension on the hookshot and then grab Lumio and that's the only way that I see you guys getting up.
I'm Batmaning my way out of here.
Yeah.
How much do
and-
you weigh? Not too much.
So how about you just spend a jury rig point and we'll say that you get Lumio out,
Yep.
and then
Sounds good.
you can probably lower yourself down and then grab Forsidna and get her out too. And by the time you do that, Quintus will have flown up to the top.
That works for me.
And
That was Quintus.
Yes.
yeah, so by the time you guys get out, it's nighttime. It's about 7, 8 at night. So between the investigation taking a few hours and everybody kind of moving around trying to do stuff, you guys have been down there or been started on this and doing stuff for about 4 hours. So everybody is here. Remember, the well is right there.
Yeah.
And what would I put Sharut instead of Forsidna? What would you like to do? Where are you going?
I'm gonna put a cap on the well and bolt it down.
There is no cap for the well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then in that case, I'm gonna head straight to Prince Orgev's.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think about securing a better rope that reaches fully to the bottom, that's knotted so that it's easy access, and maybe post a guard to ensure no one else goes into the well.
If you want, I could stay here.
Very well. If you feel comfortable doing so, we will return as swiftly as we can. We tarried too long here already.
Sure. I will wait here. This means I cannot be procuring the rope, but if you stop by any of the general stores or the
I've got a
Hopefully
rope right here.
the farming supply store, you should be able to find one.
An excellent point. Thank you for Sidna. And thank you for offering, Dillian. I just think that having an excess of rope is not a bad thing in this situation, especially one that is not split in the middle. Yeah, and we run that way to Orgev's.
Okay, so the three of you go to Orgev's, and you are let in. You are met at the door by a human butler named Eric Slannemer.
Oh, okay.
And he says, "This is a very late hour to come calling on royalty."
Yes. This relates to our job, and it's kind of, I would say, somewhat pertinent, and won't take much time at all.
His Majesty has already retired to his study. Let me see if he wishes to be bothered. What does it entail?
It entails our
The trip
job.
to the Southlands.
Yes, with Para.
Please wait in the study.
Okay.
And you guys are, you wait in the study. You've been in this room a lot. You're accustomed to it at this point. And then you eventually you get invited in by Lanimer, and he says, "Please follow me," and he will sort of motion you along. And you don't go to the normal meeting room where you meet with. you instead go into this room over here.
Like a cool little study.
You don't see Cogsworth in there. So instead, you see Lanimer, who I don't have art for, and I should probably get that. You see Lanimer stand over here next to him.
Okay.
You know who you could use.
I know who I could use, and I'm getting him, and I hate you. Hey!
Yes.
Hey guys, I'm gonna let you in.
How's it going, guys?
Oh!
Well, you want to talk to Orgiv? Let me go see if he's up.
Let me go see if Orgiv.
Hey, yo, Orgiv, you want to talk to these guys?
Chums want a brewski?
You see, as you guys are entering, two of the Royal Guard, who very much just look like kind of regular mercenaries, given how they're dressed. They don't quite match. They enter as well. One of them stands right here by the table, and the other one stands over here. And we'll use Metrolines for them, because I really...
Look at them, Metro leans.
I haven't decided on how the Royal Guard looks yet.
I mean, Metrolines are a pretty good look.
Metrolines are a good look. Yeah.
Here's your Metro lean.
Honestly,
They walk in the door.
honestly,
Oh, it's Metroid.
that is a pretty good look. But anyway,
Yeah.
so they, you walk in, and as you walk in, Lanimer says, "This study is not normally intended for visitors, so I apologize, but there will be no seating for you."
That's okay.
And he kind of like bids you to stop, sort of over here, like in the back, and then he waits a minute before he gets out of your way, and then the two guards enter, and then he goes over here, and you see that Prince Orgev is basically, he's got a stack of papers and books and various ledgers in front of him, and he's checking some stuff. And as you walk in, he starts to like stamp a few things, and then he sprinkles a little bit of sand on them and sets them aside. And he says, "Well, Mr. Lanimer told me that it was imperative that you were to speak to me as urgently as possible, even given the hour. What seems to be the issue?"
Put it succinctly, in our attempts to contact your messenger or your diplomat have been thwarted by an assassination attempt on them.
And he, like, you see him look off to his right, and he looks at Lanimer, and then he says, "Was the assassin captured?"
Some are deceased already. We are not certain of the full number of assassins.
I'm sorry.
It appears that several attempts were made.
Can you give a bit more of an explanation? What you're saying doesn't quite make sense.
I would be happy to, but Quintus was there, and he has a way with this.
Why? Why make me talk to myself?
That's so good. Here,
Yeah.
I can do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
That's funny.
Officially, because Quintus is used to giving briefings like this.
I mean, that also makes sense. Like, Quintus is willing to do it if Deline doesn't want to, but...
No, I can do this. No
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
So basically what happened is we go to the place where we were supposed to, like where we were given, and turns out that place was tossed and it was a fake house to begin with. And so we went and found some information at a bank, which was very difficult, and found her real home. And when we went there, there was a broken window and a body on the floor. And so we broke in.
So Para is dead.
No, funny enough, this is where it gets weird. That was a changeling. That changeling had like Para's clothes on. My assumption is that this was supposed to be a duplicate attempt, like a switcheroo sort of thing. Kill the real person, plant your fake person in. So don't know how they died. Maybe it was an assassination attempt on a would-be assassin. And then we discovered that this person, Para, survived, broke out a window, and went to Bare Skin, an establishment she owns. And so Sharut and I just kind of, I wouldn't say forced, but anyways, we got information from the proprietor and scanned the area. We essentially got the lowdown where she found her all like cut up and stuff, and then decided to go down. Like later, the proprietor was just kind of shook up and went to sit outside the bench where she tried to get her mind off things, and that's where she saw her cloth going down the well. So knowing that, the group gathered, we went down the well. We were met by a door after fighting some blood blots and a slug. And there was a ring of salt kind of separating the... Anyways, so we go down this hallway and the door's locked. So we essentially pick open the door and we're met with people who say, and I quote, "They have intruders. This is going to be fun." So I dropped my darkness. We ran. And when I dropped it again, it was closed. And so we inquired how they were supposed to, like, we have somebody we need to check on. And essentially they said that Para survived, and if we transgress, that they're going to transgress back. So I was like, okay, this seems a bit out of my depth. I don't know who they are. Maybe they're in your employ or not. It seemed like Paro came down here of her own free will, and we just need to see what's what.
Acceptable. Rambling, but adequate.
Well, you wanted more detail. That's the best I could do.
So, to begin with, Para is not a changeling. Para has been loyal to the crown for more than a decade now, and my mother used to have her envoys regularly checked with
I'm not saying she
divination
is.
magic. So I'm telling you for certain that the body that you found could not be her.
Yeah.
As for someone trying to kill her, we're not surprised. Not everyone wanted this deal to go through. In fact, I would say that many of the locals don't want this deal to go through. And without a proper plan, we won't necessarily be able to convince House Orient to build towards us. Because they want to build towards us as the first step in the line, not build towards us as just an end stop. How far down did you say this location was?
About 100 feet. Took 2 ropes.
And he nods and he goes, "Per the dictates of King Borinel, this land is mine. It belongs to the Siren Crown, and we did make sure to ensure that mineral rights, digging rights, the like, are part of that. Anyone who has land here in any of the territory owned by the Crown has land that the Crown is functionally leasing to them. Whoever these people are, they're on my land. I want to know how my envoy is doing. If you feel that this will turn into something where your life is in danger, you are more than free to back out. But whoever these people are, they have no say and no call to deny you of anything. Not when you're working for me.
Needed.
I encourage any working under me to question my judgment, but to defy my orders. I cannot have that. Not at this time. Not with things the way they are. So if you and the rest of the company of the Golden Skull are up to it, please check on the status of my envoy.
Sure.
If you are not, that is fine. It sounds like you've run into some spot of trouble with something that might call for a purging team from the Silver Flame, and they've been eager to trade in a few favors in exchange for a spot of land to build a temple. Maybe something can be arranged.
All I was checking was to make sure that we weren't stepping on any toes that you knew about. And since you don't know about them, I will be free to step.
He nods and he says, "Approach." And he starts digging in his and he's kind of waving to all 3 of you. And he starts digging. He starts digging in the desk for something. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Give me your papers."
Lumio presents his papers.
Delian takes and gives his real papers.
Okay. He opens it to the ones that, like, you have your picture and then it says like where you're from and all that stuff. And he takes out a small bottle of ink, and you see him take a pen and kind of like stick it in there. He doesn't do anything with it. He just sticks it in there, and like some of the ink just disappears into the pen. And then you see him sign this like flourishing signature underneath. And then he takes out a stamp and he stamps it. And then he does that for all 3. Like, for the 2 of you, Quintus definitely already has this.
Yeah, probably.
And then you see him take out a pair of wands, and he marks each of your sets of papers with each wand. And you see like a mark appear next to his name, and then another mark appear on the other side. And it's basically his personal crest, and then it's the royal crest of Seer. And he goes, "I will warn you that having this does grant some authority here, but having this can be incredibly dangerous in other places.
Oh, yeah.
There are many of the Braelish who still see us as invaders, regardless of the fact that their king granted this land. Be careful with this."
Okay, I'll be sure to do so.
However, if you are on official business within my lands and you present this mark, any who does not listen to you and see your authority, they are effectively acting against the crown.
Hi, my mom could see me now.
I'm sure she would be proud, as are all Sirens, of those loyal sons and daughters who still work for the Jewel.
Oh, yeah. Praise here, all that.
One comment that I overheard as we were departing was that the para is beyond our healer's abilities at the moment, and I assumed that you might have someone you would recommend us taking. Were that the case?
The Jurassic Clinic are the best healers in town, at least in terms of magical healing. The scholar who's with you is probably the best non-magical healer. Between the various magical accoutrements that Cogsworth and I have access to, we have some ability to cure most minor ailments, but I wouldn't consider us an actual hospital by any means. We just have... At one point, I had enough money to procure some good wands for my own adventuring.
I simply let you know that there may be a worst case scenario, but we will return with all haste if it is preventable.
Do what you can.
And Lumio steps back.
Yeah.
And he'll
Thanks.
nod to you both, and he says, "Until tomorrow." And he looks at Latimer and says, "Latimer?" And the butler will kind of like nod to him and go, "Right, Your Majesty."
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, if you'll please follow me. And by follow me, he basically, it's sort of weird because he opens the door and then waves you out.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Courteous bow as I leave to Orga.
And
I do that whole, like, top of the, that whole thing.
all right. And then, so with that in mind, what do the two of you do? Sorry, the three of you.
Yeah.
Because Quintus is there, but...
I would stop by the the gnome, the halflings who do the healing, and just let them know that we may have thank you, that we are aware of someone who needs healing in a bad way, and we may be bringing them by shortly.
Yeah, you
because I imagine they don't loan out doctors.
No, they don't loan out doctors. When you stop by, they're sort of on like the night hours. The clinic is not very big. It's basically like it's a large-ish 2-story house. So when you stop there, given that it's kind of late, you see that the nurses and the doctors, most of whom, not all of whom, but most of whom are halflings, are sort of like getting their stuff together and like doing the final rounds for the night. It looks like they go on kind of a skeletal staff as they as it enters the night. So there's a human male who's the secretary for this place, and is at the front desk and go, I'll let our chief medical technician know that you might be bringing somebody in. But we're usually pretty short-staffed at night most of the time. It's a pretty safe town, really, so there's not usually a lot going on at night. But I can see if maybe one of the nurses wants to stay after a little while.
I appreciate that. There is someone who has lost a great deal of blood, and we are attempting to bring them back here as swiftly as we can, but we will send a runner ahead to see if it is, to describe the situation and see who needs to be alerted at that point.
I'll tell Nurse Welly, and she'll get the re-leeches and be ready.
That is very appreciated. And then we try to pick up some rope on the way back?
Yeah. I mean, it's you could stop by a general store or something like that and be like, hey, I need this. Apparently rope is pretty prevalent in fantasy games and is sold everywhere. You can like stop in for a Slurpee and some rope and a water skin, because those are everywhere. The Slurpee doesn't come in the water
everywhere?
skin, though. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I think it's more that anywhere there's a Slurpee, there's also 7,000 feet of hempen rope and water skin, give or take.
Cool. So I would say we boogie down there. Oh, I would like to say that, but somebody doesn't like climbing.
And when you get back, Frisidna's still there, still kind of standing watch, looking around, walking around the tent, or walking around the well. You can see her from a while off, and she kind of nods to the three of you as you approach, and she says, The only people that I saw or that permitted to actually approach the well were a trio of women and one man who came with buckets. Well, the man had the water skins, but the women had buckets. They did not come as a group. Everyone was alone. And other than that, I've only seen people walking around, some alone, some in pairs, some in groups. I saw my cousin from the Hastinith Enclave apparently doing a patrol of Tolvin's circuit because one of the nobles nearby paid her to do so. And she looks to you, Lumia, and says, "I saw your friend Starwart. He was carrying a plow over one shoulder and most of an ox over the other. It was quite an odd sight. One would think you would use one to lead the other, but the ox was quite dead. I think he planned to eat it."
He does have a proclivity to certain items.
And there was a rowdy bunch that was sort of pushing and jostling at each other. A pair of shifters and a goblin, and a pair of humans. But I just held up a hand and warned them away, and they all left.
Oh,
Your vigilance is appreciated. Thank you, Frisina. But it seems that you encountered no great peril, which is also good.
Well then,
all right.
We are going down.
Yes, I've procured more rope for us. We should knot it first, I'm told.
Yeah, so you guys knot the rope, which takes a while, because you have to pull up the other rope and knot it and tie it all together and climb down. And having knotted the whole rope, it makes it nearly impossible to fall, but not fully impossible to fall.
Not for our good old buddy.
Not for good old buddy Lumio. So Lumio, what I'm going to need from you is 4 climb checks.
All right.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
One.
No progress, but like you don't fall. Go again. Doing
The
good.
fuck is this shit?
Number 3.
That's more like it.
That's what we're looking for.
That's
So-
more like it.
so-
That's more like it.
You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. And then you get down to the point where you're only like a scant 20 feet above the water, and you just slip, and you take 5 damage on the way down.
His fucking overconfidence.
I'm gonna take 1, if that's all right.
Wait.
Because of the boots.
Oh, because of the boots? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is I have to do the same rolls with Frisina. And she's fine.
Jesus. 2 20s in a fucking row.
Holy! Come on, Forsidna.
If one of you wants to run a game so that I can play Frisina, I'd be really appreciative. She's apparently kind of a boss. All right. So while you guys are doing that,
Do you need me to do climbs?
no, are you just gonna lower yourself down in a hook shot?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest.
I that's what I imagine you were gonna do, is like kind of hook shot yourself, sort of grab the rope and like hook shot yourself down, and then like hook shot yourself to the wall or something, because that's
Fantastic.
That's probably Delian seems very low effort to me, and that seems about the lowest effort way you could do it.
And honestly, that's what I wanted to do the last time. So
Yeah.
you got it right on the head.
Yeah. And then Quintus, after falling the last time, is probably just going to make wings again, because that seems like what makes sense for him. So, all right. With that, damn it. There we go. I tried to click activate and clicked view, so I was the only one on the scene. And then I tried to click it again and click configure, and then I finally managed to activate the map. So
Nice.
Lumio's totem is not there anymore. We can get the big red splotch off. Dandarin and Sharut. There is a point where the door opens and you see a person, and I will show you the picture of it. He looks like this. It looks to be an elf, very, very pale, eyes kind of sunken in, very gaunt. Like elves are usually all cheekbones anyway, but this dude is like even more. Very pale, eyes kind of sunken in and black with but beady red once you actually get to the eye bit. Completely bald, no eyebrows, no hair, no nothing. And he's dressed in like studded leather armor, has a saber on one hip, and he opens the door and he's looking over his shoulder, and then he sees the two of you and goes, and then he just shuts the door. And Sharut and Dandrin, if you would like to give me perception checks. Dandrin, you'll be at for distance, you'll be at a -2. Sharut, you'll be at a -4.
Perception.
Yes. It's audio perception if that matters at all. Okay, so Dandrin, you can't really make this out through the door, but Sharut, you got those big goblin ears that are always twitching and alert and aren't covered with a big metal helmet. So what you hear through the door is, they're still out there. What do you mean they're still out there? I mean they're still out there. The goblin and a dwarf. What do we do? I don't know. I thought they left. Well, we can't let them in. I'll try talking to them again, but get ready. And then through the door, more loudly, you hear him speak, and he goes, how long are you going to wait?
Sharut's gonna put his hand onto Dandrin's shoulder and just be like, let me talk a minute.
Sharut need to ensure patient safety.
The patient is safe.
Sharut must
We
confirm.
have to make sure of that.
Sharut must confirm.
And you won't leave until you have your confirmation.
Also must
That is
escort
correct.
patient, but
You
confirmation will help.
won't be escorting her. It's too dangerous for her right now.
Let Sharut check patient.
Give me a diplomacy check there, Sharut.
Okay.
John Eric Endrin wouldn't know this, unfortunately, but it's possible Sharut might be able to notice this based on seeing them. They're elves that look deathly, like close to dead. Would Sharut know anything about the Deathless? As a
Maybe?
historian and a storyteller.
Maybe. There's a possibility there, just because Dargoon has had a lot more, like the Dakani have had a lot more interactions than humans have with the Deathless. However, do either of you have knowledge religion?
I do not have knowledge.
Okay. Sharut, I'll let you give me a, so this isn't your, like, culture's history, and it's not the one that you're specialized in. So I'll let you give me a knowledge history, but it's going to be at a -2.
Okay.
Nothing triggers. No memories one way or the other. So the guy behind the door says, if I open the door and I place something outside of it so that you can see her, will you take that viewership as proof and then leave? And then you hear, and return it, and return the item that you use to view her.
Depends on status of patient.
Hold on. And you hear some sort of like shuffling back there. Like there's footsteps going on. And then the door opens once again, and he puts what looks to be like sort of a circlet or a diadem right here, and then he very quickly shuts the door again.
Sharut will like have Dandrin just stay back and kind of go look at he'll interact with the circlet kind of thing.
Dandrin will prepare to coup de grace the mind control Sharut. It's one against goblins.
And he says, this won't work the way that you want it to, but it might show you something. So what you see in this circlet is basically it's got like the stages of the moon with the center moon in the center, a full moon in the center. So it's got like 5 stages, and you see like crescent, and then sort of like waxing, crescent, full, crescent, waning, right? And he goes, stare into the full moon in the center. It should take a minute. Just will yourself to see.
Sharut first does a sense motive, just cause.
Okay, seems legit.
And he'll stare into the moon and will himself to see.
Okay, so what you see is kind of a dark room, and you see like it's lit by those same kind of like orange lights that you have right here, but it looks sort of like a almost like an operating theater. You see clothing in the shape of a body being strapped down to a table. And what I mean by that is think of like a movie like The Invisible Man, where the person, you can't see them, but the clothing is on them. You see clothing in the shape of a person. And it's basically like kind of a white shirt and some tight leather pants that just look messed up. They are just covered in blood. And you see that there are straps on the side of the table that are like engaged, and it looks like there's something in that strap, but you can't see what that thing is. So it looks like there's sort of an invisible arm in a strap, because you can see the strap occasionally move. And then like on that same kind of thing that you're viewing, you see some other clothing walk into the picture, and that other clothing looks to be sort of like fairly plain clothing that would match what you would wear if you weren't out adventuring. So, you know, it's like the apron and it's covered in like vials and like potions and that sort of stuff. But you don't see a person in the clothes. You just see the clothes moving around.
Okay.
And you kind of hear very, like, it sounds sort of distant. It's not coming from the thing that you're looking into. It seems like it's coming from the door, and like somebody's kind of shouting it. And you hear someone shout, "It won't hold. It's going to break." And then the thing that you're viewing through shatters. So, like, not the mirror that you're looking into, but whatever that mirror is looking at shattered.
Shrewd will like not flinch, but do like the little head shake when you're like just a tad confused. You know what I mean? And he'll motion Dandrin to step back a bit.
And you hear through the door, "Once you're done with the circlet, please put it down."
I mean, he just leaves it where it was.
Okay.
And he'll say,
Sadly, could not confirm. Patient.
And the door will open real quick, and you'll see him kind of like use the toe of his boot to flip the circlet into his hand, and then he shuts the door again.
Shrewd's gonna look to Dandrin,
Sharut going to do something foolish.
and he's going to basically hand Dandrin his weapon, except for his stealth crossbow. He's gonna try and hide that.
Okay.
And that is a sleight of hand,
Yeah.
right? And that is a +5. To
And
the
you get a
sleight of
+5 to it. Okay. You think you have it well and truly hid in a place where you can quickly draw it.
hand. Shrewd's gonna be like,
If hear boom, you come run. Yes.
and he's gonna say that so like the people on the other side of the door can't hear.
Yeah. You're like whispering to him.
Yeah.
They're very brave, but you're also being very foolish. There's no guarantee they're going to let you in, or that they're going to their end of the bargain. What
Is
did you see, by the way?
Nothing conclusive.
Well,
He's
that's
going to
helpful.
he's gonna walk up and he's gonna knock on the door and he's gonna say,
Sharut, unarmed. Sharut, recognize parts of your work. Would like to help patient.
There's only one way you're coming in here, and I don't think you'd like process.
What is process?
You let me make you like me.
so just based off the knowledge check, Sharut doesn't know what he is, right?
No, you have no idea.
Okay.
What are you exact?
Well, according to Miss Belkin, we're the blessed.
According-
And that might trigger something, because like Quintus did tell you that the blood of Vol, the blood of Vol is concerned with becoming immortal. Like they think that like it's wrong for the gods to hoard immortality. So they're interested in becoming immortal in whatever way they can. And the easiest way for that is through undeath. So that might tell you at the very least that the person that you're talking to is not alive.
But he also mentioned Para Belkin's last name, or he also mentioned Para's last name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what that was the information that Quintus and Dandrin found, was that I may be becoming one of the blessed, or
Why is undeath required? And
I'm not permitted to allow the living inside.
even if to help one of your own,
She is beyond your help now. We've told you this. You can't do anything for her.
believe you underestimate Sharut's abilities.
This is less to do with underestimation and more to do with a keen sense of what you're truly capable of. I've heard about you in town. You are a skilled doctor. That will not help here.
Also, skilled alchemist.
I don't think that will help here either. Not unless you wish to attempt to blow her up, and I'm not going to allow that either.
Sharut's getting frustrated at this point, and he's just gonna growl at the door and say,
Suppose we will need to stay here for a while longer then.
and he'll walk away from the door and gather his weapons back from Dandrin.
You know it's growing more dangerous for you as time goes on.
Sharut, accustomed to danger.
Idiot adventurers. And speaking of idiot adventurers,
Hello.
Hurtful.
Lumio, Quintus, Forsidna, and Delian, you have climbed back down and sloshed your way through. I imagine that the whole like climbing up and then talking to Orgev and getting to your stuff and talking to the House Durasco clinic, you guys have spent about another 2 hours or so. It's not quite midnight. It's nighttime, definitely. But you are basically where you are on the map. You know, you've managed to to get back down and slosh your way through the water and get back over to here. There were no more encounters with blood bloaters or with giant slugs.
Fantastic. Just regular sized slugs.
Just regular sized slugs, and a lot of them, but it is what
a
it is.
swarm of them is negligible.
A swarm of slugs. Just oh, like giant slugs? No, just regular sized slugs.
Just regular.
Yeah.
That's still quite terrifying if I think about it.
I mean,
hundreds
probably,
of regular slugs.
Yeah. It must be what a cookie feels as it dies.
Yeah. I imagine that it would be terrifying if any of you were like a potato.
Poor
or
things.
Like a carrot. So, what would you like to do?
I'm going to walk along confidently until I see my friends.
Okay. Yeah, you see that apparently Dandarin and Shrewt have just camped out down there.
Come along, Quintus and Forsidna.
And they're just down there.
Okay.
And,
So,
yeah.
did anything happen? Really? We were gone for a little bit. Sorry about that.
Nothing conclusive. Sharut saw things in Circulant does not guarantee Para's safety. Also, likely undead through these walls.
Well, that's unfortunate because what we were just told is if they are not guaranteeing us to see Parabelkin, they are acting against the crown, and then we should do with that what we will. We need to make sure Parabelkin is okay.
You know
Sounds like
what's super funny is like I was gonna roll a knowledge check to see like if Quintus was able to identify them, and the one knowledge skill he doesn't have is religion.
Might be time to put a point in religion, boys.
I have a point in religion.
And Delian has no use for that.
So,
But you haven't mentioned anything that piques Lumio's interest. So.
Yeah, and Lumio hasn't seen them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because-
unless Lumio asks, he wouldn't. I don't think he would divulge the part about the chosen.
Yeah.
So basically,
Sharut saw clothed figures. Difficult to explain. There, but not there.
Like they were invisible?
Yes. Also, much blood.
Like that whole Vol thing that you guys found out about, sort of thing.
Different.
Oh.
Similar.
Agenda. Dandrid's gonna point.
Suppose we should let them know. Going to come into Sanctum. Yes?
Type whatever you feel's best.
sure.
I'm not liable for your actions.
Sure, he's gonna walk back up to the door. And I'm assuming Forsidna will eventually join Dandarin at front.
Yeah, because she's
Sure.
gonna assume that you're gonna move back, and it would be the two of them in the front line.
Yeah, Shrewt's gonna say very, very, very clearly, well, as clear as he can anyway.
Oh, wait, before I see what you're about to do, just let you wait. And Delian pulls out his papers. We're authorized now. I am, and Lumio is. So
Shrewt
And
looks at the scribbles.
Quintus is.
Shrewt
yeah.
looks at the scribbles and the stamp quizzically, like he has no idea what the fuck they mean.
doesn't matter. This is Prince Orgev's stuff. This is him.
Yes. This is.
What you're saying is this is legal.
This
Yes.
is legal and binding.
Well,
Andrew, you would know.
Yeah. Yes. You have to
I love
declare it
contracts.
first.
Yeah.
So
As long
we
as
should
we've got the
declare.
paper and in triplicate, we have 3 signatures.
Humans so disorganized.
And he'll knock on the door as loud as he can, and he'll say,
Has come to Sharut's attention. You are against Prince Orgev's orders. It is clear we must see Miss Belkin.
We can't let you in.
Right.
And
we
it seems
must-
that you won't put her
I-
out either.
We must come in.
and
And he
Shrewt's gonna
goes,
back up.
and he says it again, and he stresses it, and he goes, "We can't let you see her
Why is that?
because we can't."
I mean, I could say the sky is red, and then you're like, no, it's not. It's blue. I was like, that's your opinion. That doesn't really help out anybody.
We can't.
Is it a compulsion? Because if it is, it's most unfortunate. Dandarin's gonna ready. He's gonna take a look at the door, and he's gonna get ready to start sundering.
It must have been the Ormite.
I don't.
We're
know
beyond
what
that,
you're
man.
talking About. Yeah, it sort of rattles through the whole group, but
Yeah.
he just goes, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Bear in mind that his compulsion might be as strong as yours. I apologize. My friends are quite ready to see this night ended, one way or another. What is it that we are not allowed to see?
Her.
Sorry, I would expect the answer from him.
Oh, sorry.
I've already said her name to your friend. You can't see Miss Belkin. We attempted to show her to him, but he chooses to wallow in his ignorance and not accept the truth for what it is.
I'm sorry. What truth
Or you could
is it
stop
that
being
you speak?
cryptic.
We're not being cryptic. We can't show you.
So just based off of that, right? Reflections are a thing with vampires. Can Sharut put this together?
Does Sharut know what a vampire is? Because he doesn't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't.
Okay, so he can't put this together. Then he's gonna just say,
Dandrin, break door. Tired.
Mandarin's gonna just. Wham!
Okay, not gonna have you roll for it.
Okay.
I mean, sure, you can. The door opens, and I mean, the door opens as you like. Sorry, the door doesn't open. You shatter the lock and sort of like kick it back off its hinges. And at that point, we will enter combat, but we will actually enter that combat after a break. So we will all come back at, let's say, 9:05-ish.
Okay.
And yeah, so we'll see you all in about 15 minutes.
"See you soon."
Yeah.
Alright.
All right, nerds.
Time to get
Wow.
back to it. Yeah.
Rude. Yeah.
Let's go kill him.
Hey, is that Chris Pratt I hear?
Pull out my gallons of holy water and splash it as a free action.
It's a free action. Whoa. Big moves, player.
All right.
I'm calling it the Dwarven maneuver.
I would
Everybody,
like to pull out my 4 gallons of undwarven water and
undwarven water?
Also, I get a -2.
No,
against
now
the-
I'm a Duragar.
Undwarven water is just water.
Your mic is not going.
Is my mic not going?
Yeah, I can't hear you, John Rick.
What about
It's
now?
muted.
Now is my mic going?
There we go.
You're good.
There we go. Yeah.
So-
So
what's-
I'm going to need you to get closer and more buttery.
All right, guys. Let's play our way through this combat. Let's make it
When he said
smooth.
let's-
Let's make it sexy, sensual. Bring
I
out
mean,
your
When you said
good.
buttery, you're going like a fine butter over this ribeye steak. I'm talking the deep fried fat.
Oh, you want some like
That's
deep
butter.
fried
You
butter?
can tell.
Oh, shit.
We need to
Battle
we need to
of
bring this
Fire.
a little southern.
Oh, God.
If I don't
Tim.
hear the word jowls come out of you
yeah.
soon,
It needs to be a little more southern. Just a little more southern.
The proper way to do this is to make sure that it really resonates in your jowls.
Make sure you get your crawfish and make a nice
You know,
fish fry.
you know, I think I need a little more honey as well. So
A little
like
more
a
honey.
southern
All
sweet-
right, so
Yeah.
so we're gonna
Deep
go
south
here for the
jowls,
deep honey. I guess we'd have to speak a little bit more out of the nose to get a little bit of honey in there. So you still got that deep bass, then you got a little bit of the hey.
oh, I can
how's it going
smell the
there?
diabetes.
Yep.
You know, I'm just picturing like the heart of Mississippi, a smooth jazz station in the heart of Mississippi, and how contradictory that is.
You're listening to K-Rock 102 here in Heartland, Mississippi. We don't know why, but we appreciate your patronage.
Yeehaw.
K-Rock 102. That was weird. Let's roll initiative.
I just
Wait, are we
because the
unmuted?
nerd in me is offended. If it's in Mississippi, it's going to be at W Rock. Don't worry about
W-Rock.
it. Yeah, thank you.
Were we unmuted the whole time?
Yeah,
Yeah, we were unmuted the whole time.
Wonderful.
Oh, wonderful.
You slippery little.
It feels so good.
Dandrin, would you like to roll initiative? There we go.
He did at one point. I saw it.
So let's start combat. All right, I'm gonna crack that open. I'm gonna put that right there. I have found the spot on the screen where the initiative tracker is still visible. It's right there. So that way, if I move things around, people can still like tell who goes next and whatnots. And I'll zoom in just und bitte. And Delian, you are first. The combat has started.
Fantastic.
Danarin sort of blows the door open, and you see the elf with the bald head just kind of shaking his head, going, "Fine, die then." And it's your turn.
It would be so funny if he's like, "We can't let you in, but if you open the door, you're more than happy to come in."
I'm not allowed to open the door for you. The words of the contract fully stipulate I cannot let you in. Well, I'm coming in. Okay.
What if it was just that huge
It
misunderstanding?
just says that I'm not allowed to let you in. If you walk in on your own volition, well,
I guess
Can I in?
that's the way it is.
Hands are tied.
I'm gonna put a sphere of darkness right here.
Okay.
And I'll just make that 10 feet.
10 feet. Okay. Doo-doo-doo.
And then I'm gonna move right there.
This is going to be weird because it's a sphere of darkness right next to another light effect. So this is going to be
My whole build is game breaking in Foundry.
okay.
I'm a
Do you
help
guys
too.
see that?
I do.
I was just out of so everybody can see the person, I guess.
Give me like a point to where you want it to go. You said 10 feet.
Yeah, exactly.
You want it to
I
go
want
there?
everybody to be able to at least see the person instead of being like, die then, and then I give him cover. That sucks.
Okay, so you want a 15-foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, for me, it just got bigger.
Well, because you said you wanted it here and you want it to go to here. So that's what they gave you.
Okay.
Like it's
'Cause
centered. It's centered in
Mine
this
goes
spot.
to here now.
But you said 15 feet.
I know. I'm just saying it's Foundry's fault. Don't worry. I know. What
I
I'm
don't
doing.
know what you're saying. You're being real fucking confusing. You said you wanted it centered here and to
Yes.
go to here, and that's what I
Yes.
gave you, and you're like, yeah, but it goes to here now.
No. I can understand your confusion. I didn't give you the full sentence. So you did exactly what I wanted you to do,
Yay.
and that's great. For on my screen, the sphere of darkness now goes to here.
Oh, okay. That I understand. That's because it's still using low light, and now it's not.
Ah, there we go. Okay,
So-
now it makes sense.
You have low light, and low light doubles the distance of all light sources. So the way for me to get darkness is to put down a light source with a negative radius.
Oh, okay.
And so it's going, oh, it's a light source. Double the distance
And
for
so
the guy
it
with low
don't-
lights. So I had to
Okay.
disable low light for it. But now it should work.
Yeah, it works fine now. I was wondering when you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this," and I was like, "I only want it
Okay.
10," and all of a sudden it goes boom.
All right. Are you spending a spell point on this, or is it gonna be it's there for a round and you're concentrating on it?
Well, if it's for no, I'm spending until my next round.
Okay. So all right. So you drop that down and it'll be there for a round.
We'll say 2 rounds. We'll just leave it at 2.
So it's
I'll
either
spend a point.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
cool.
spend a point.
Okay. So cool. You spend a point with the intention of making it last for 2 rounds.
I'll spend it for the full 4,
Okay. You spend a
just
point
to make
and
things easy.
You spend a point and it will last for 40 rounds. Cool.
Yes.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, man.
You know,
I
I
changing
realize
things on him too.
I know I'm not helping the situation. I'm trying to streamline it now as much as I can.
K-Rock
Yeah.
102. All right.
W Rock.
All right. Well, what we got now is Dandarin. You're the one with the big hammer what crushed out the door. So this attack is going to come to you. This is going to be, let's see, you do have hover for this, so that'll give you +2. 1 sec. No, that'll give you a +4. Okay, so this is going against your touch AC, but it is your touch AC +4. It's a good roll, which I assume hits.
Unfortunately, it's
All right, so that will be a nearly max damage. So this thing comes out, and it's like a small file that has some liquid in it, and it kind of slams against your armor, and then it explodes. Just this icy explosion. So that will deal 18 to you, and it will deal 7 cold to Sharut and to Forsidna.
cold damage.
It is cold damage.
Rude. No reflex save or anything.
No, splash damage on the alchemist bomb doesn't give you reflex. At least as far as I'm aware. Am I wrong on that?
I don't have splash damage on my bomb. Well, no, I don't.
It's
have
an alchemist bomb, so I think it's just they roll the hit.
Yeah. They rolled a
Typically,
hit.
if you roll the hit, they don't then get a save.
Actually, sorry. Those caught in the splash damage can attempt a reflex save for half damage. So Sharut, you can do a reflex save.
Okay.
The direct hit can't. Sharut, you can, and Forsidna can as well.
Let me pull up pop up.
For Sidna will not. Shrewd, you will. Instead of taking 7, you will take 3 cold damage.
Much more better.
Much more better. And after that will be Lumio. Lumio, it's your turn. It's your turn, Lumio. Lumio,
Yay!
please take your turn.
You know what's great for me? I want it bright in here.
Wait, hang on. I'm confused. Whose turn is it?
It's Lumio's turn. If Lumio could take his turn, please. Lumio, to the turn.
Lumio, no pressure. Turn now, please.
I'd like it to be bright in here, John Eric.
Are you going to drop that stupid big totem?
You know I am. I'm also I'm gonna put it like here, because that seems like where he wants it.
Oh, you're gonna move it up here?
Yeah, because I can put it at short range now.
This is so stupid because it doesn't provide, like, it provides light, but it's not magical light, so there's still that sphere of darkness right there.
Yeah.
It's so...
You've given us such power.
So dumb.
John Eric playing as, I'm not mad, just disappointed.
Yep. Okay, so you're gonna put that there. Are you doing anything of note in terms of like spell point expenditure and whatnots?
I am spending a spell point for this to make it a totem of foresight. So you can attack 2 different things and choose which one you use it on.
And that lasts for minute per level?
If I spend another spell point, wait, which thing?
Does it last for a minute per level? Or, like, you have to spend 1 to make it a totem of foresight. Are you spending another to make it last for a minute per level?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop that.
Okay.
That way I don't have to concentrate on it.
And in addition, can you roll your wild magic check for me, please?
Sure. Unfortunately, I haven't modified it, so...
All vampires within 50 feet of you say, hey.
Hey?
I mean, they're compelled to, which is...
How's it going?
I almost got there.
Damn.
Is 26 not enough to trigger in this one? Or
I haven't done anything magical or wild for this, so...
Yeah, I thought that you didn't have the Totem of Foresight, and that's why you were spending the spell point.
No, that's one of the early ones that I got was bullshit.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they're all kind of nonsense. I really like War as a Sphere. It's ridiculous, though. All right.
Yeah.
So that was Lumio's turn. He's going to put down a Totem of Foresight. Are you taking a move action, anything like that?
Nope.
All right. And then we're going to switch to Nemeth. Dandarin, he's going against you. Dandarin, he's going against you, Dandarin? Dandarin, he's going against you.
I'd like to dissuade him and make him attack his friend.
Ooh.
Yeah. Could you roll a craft blacksmithing to see if he'll do that?
Sure can.
Can I?
Wait, let me make my diplomacy check. And if failing that, how would I craft it?
I will craft diplomacy.
So stupid.
Sure.
Okay. So basically he takes this, like, he's got his saber in one hand, and he takes a swipe with the saber at your weapon, and as he does that, he's coming in with his hand in this huge kind of rending claw aimed at your face. So firstly, I would like to disarm you of your weapons. And he is going to roll his disarm check. Checking my math there. There we go. Does that hit your CMD?
It does not.
I didn't hear if that was a yes or no.
No.
It does not.
It does not. Okay, so he fails the CMD check. He
Wonderful.
will then make his attack roll. And I know that doesn't hit you on the attack roll. Like, I just know it doesn't. All right.
Lovely.
That's him. For Sidna, will set up her combat patrol. This extends for it is a 15-foot square around her. So I believe, or sorry, a 10-foot square around her. So I believe it is this area. This is the area she can do it in. And that takes her whole round. Sharut.
So I'm gonna motion Pew and Pew.
Yes.
Seconded.
And, Sharut doesn't know if these creatures are immune to poison, so he's going to apply a poison to his first bolt, and then we'll do the Pew and the Pew.
Yeah, sounds great. Go ahead and roll it.
They are in point blank range, which is still at a -2 because Pew. Okay, so actually I realized I was making a mistake, and I fixed it. There's the first one, and
Okay.
then here is the second. Second probably misses.
They both miss.
Shame.
Yeah. So yeah, you didn't hit with either of them.
Okay.
All right. After that is going to be Quintus, and Quintus will take a full round action to use his Shadow Mark ability, and he will shoot it with a Shadow Mark. So this is the equivalent of his Masterwork crossbow -1, and he will miss as well. That was a 3.
Wow.
So after that is going to be Dandarin. Dandarin, it's your turn.
Right. I'm going to. He dares try to disarm me. I'm going to sunder his sword.
That seems like a thing you would do.
That seems. I too can disarm.
Not
And
miss.
why didn't you attack 2 things?
Do I have that option?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll sunder his weapon and his armor.
Okay, sounds good.
See if I sunder his armor. I do the exact same thing.
The powers Lumio grants upon you.
It's almost like you guys aren't supposed to be doing this, you know. I just
I said you can't enter.
he reaches out a hand and just puts it on your cheek and goes, "Do you feel in charge?"
I'm not the only one who failed here. And I'm going to go tuck in my son.
Okay. I will move next to Delian. Delian, what would you like to do?
I would like to put a small 5-foot sphere of darkness on myself.
Okay, you drop a boop right on yourself.
And then I am going to teleport right here.
Is that a
move action?
It is a move action?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah, please look it up for me, just to be sure.
I do want to lie to you, so I will say llamas are in charge of the government.
I don't hear any lies.
Oh shit!
I meant lizards. No, not lizards. Seals. Seals are in charge of the
No,
government.
you goddamn liar.
God, this darkness here.
Is it step through darkness?
Yes.
You may spend a spell point to grant the target and up to a heavy load of carried equipment to the ability to step into a patch. As a move action, the target can teleport up to 10 feet per caster level. Yes, it is a move action. So
Okay, where was that in the sheet?
It is step through darkness. It is in the meld ability. So you spend a point. You spend a point to grant you the ability to step through darkness and go to another spot.
I just need to start remembering where these things are.
So yeah, you spend a standard action to drop the sphere on yourself, and then you spend a move action to give yourself the point and step into that sphere and emerge over here, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
Right here.
Right there. Okay. Sounds good. We'll move you over there. And did you have well, that's pretty much your turn. So
yeah, that's my turn.
Cool. After that, it's going to be Marshall is going to throw another bomb. This one she is going to throw at Dander, just like the last one. And she's going to potentially crit with it.
That's not good. He's not even here to.
He's not even here.
See this.
He's off tucking in his son. He made his choice.
Having a kid, how dare.
Dandarin, you take this many points of cold damage. What a shit roll. There is so many ones in that.
There was like, what, 4 ones?
Yeah. So the nice thing about it is that because the attack crit, the splash damage is more. Dandarin, you took a critical hit. Oh, actually, there's a thing that happens instead. Dandarin, you do not take that critical hit.
Good.
What actually?
He comes back to that.
Yeah.
Thank God.
What actually happens is that so Frisidna gives you a +2 to your touch AC, which means that you still take the attack roll, and then she takes it instead. Because that's what she does. So she gives you she was at -3, and then she's going to take 17, so she's going to move to floating 14 feet in the air. So yes, Frisidna will actually take the hit because that's what her combat patrol lets her do. And then Sharut and Dandarin, I need both of you to give me a reflex save, please.
And I wasn't subject to the splash damage. Doesn't she just take the hit?
So all of you take the splash damage?
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
see.
Delian, you're close. You're close too. Can you also please
I
give
am?
me a reflex save? Yep, you're as close as Sharut is.
And
Wait,
yet she's not hitting her bud?
Hold on. Are you?
Airbud's immune to cold.
Never mind. You're not quite close enough. You're 5 feet out. Yeah, vampires have cold resistance. It's like they planned for this.
It's you know what?
I will be taking full splash damage.
You will be taking full splash damage, as will Sharut. So with extra dices, both of you will take 14 cold splash damage.
14, you say?
14, I say.
Yeah. Okay, not good.
After that is Lumio. Lumio, it's your turn. Lumio, please go.
Oh, already? All right. Well, since I'm not concentrating on that brilliant beam of light, I'm going to hit this dude that I can see. This one.
Yeah.
With a spell. I have lots of them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
What
choose.
kind of spell you want to hit him with?
One that I totally should have prepared beforehand. Our combats are normally much slower. Come on. Type, Andy. Type. There we go. Jesus Christ. Where is it? You know what? Let's do energy wall. Just an energy wall on that dude.
You stack of asses. Okay. Which way is it going? Like this?
Yeah.
All right. I'll say that you put an energy wall. How far? How big?
It really only needs to be, as far as I can tell, 10 feet.
Okay, so you put an energy wall like that.
Yes.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's a wild magic thing I'm doing, so I'm gonna roll.
Yeah.
That.
Go ahead and roll that.
That triggers.
That triggers.
And
roll your wild magic effect.
It's the destruction sphere wild magic and not the universal, so
The caster's nauseated for 1 round.
can I even be nauseated?
Yeah.
Okay. My internal organs are unhappy.
Yeah. The magic makes you feel what it's like if you had a stomach and it didn't like you.
Oh, okay.
It's like you ate something that was prepared. You ate something food-wise prepared by somebody other than.
And honestly, it's like you ate something.
Oh, that's what you do every day, multiple times? Why?
Okay, so you're gonna put it right there. What element did you pick?
It's always lightning.
Thank God. If it was cold, I'd be like, stop.
Okay, so you pick lightning as your element.
Yeah.
And can you give me? Well, first I get to roll a reflex save against it. Correct?
I believe so. Hold on.
Because you made it directly on me, so I get to roll a reflex save. If I just walked through, I don't.
Yeah.
All right.
Where you've got to be up. There it is. Energy wall. Yep. Reflex save to avoid damage.
All right. Does a 15 make it?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. And does this move him out of the area when he makes it?
Actually, no. I'm a 16 now.
You're 16 now.
Yeah. So it is.
Okay. Can you roll your damage for me?
That is 3d6. Right. Suffer that ouchie.
You see the electricity kind of crackle over him, and it's kind of dancing along his blade and along the studs in his armor. Doesn't seem to be affecting him much.
That's a bit of a wash.
All right, and after that is going to be him. Well, that hammer looks dangerous. He is going to double disarm that hammer.
Jesus.
Does an 18 hit you? Please.
Go up for 2 Scooby snacks.
Does a... Are you serious?
This guy's getting real grabby.
He's literally like, he tried a couple times to hit Dandrin, and then he went, all right, and he's swinging for my hammer. You gotta let go of that. And he keeps like looping it around, and like Dandrin just has this iron grip on it. And he's just like,
it reminds me of like a play school kid, like, give it to me.
And
if you don't let it go, I'm gonna break your hand.
He does this. He does this thing, Dandrin, where you see him like, he kind of like rotates his saber around your hammer, and he does this almost get it out. And you've got the loop on the handle, because of course you do. And he like does a little like careless fling, and you just grab it by the loop and put it back in your hand, and he goes, and he gives you kind of a nod, like, all right, well done. And then for Sidna's turn, she will set up her combat patrol again. And then it will be Sharut's turn.
I have 2 options available to me, and I feel like I don't want to do big boom boom yet. So, we're going to...
I got 2 options, and one of them is to grenade my whole team.
Exactly.
That's some pure alchemist nonsense right there.
it's
Could heal
truly
Dandrin.
Look,
he's always
you-
going like that. I'm going back to D&D goblins where it's
Yeah.
like that primal urge is just always there to just be like, nah, fuck it.
when you have the ability to fireball after a round, you have to weigh your possibilities.
Yeah, I mean it's fair.
Say, everybody get the fuck away.
I've never been there, so that's
All
good.
right.
to
Oh
know.
no. Okay. Sharut will move back because he's tired of getting hit by that shenaniganery. And he will take one shot on this dude.
Okay.
And he is at point blank range, which is noise. So we'll do the point blank shenanigan. Give me a minute. Oh, also flashbang, because flashbang is nice. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 on this one? No.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, it misses.
All right.
Truly a shame you shot twice and still missed.
No, I only shot once.
All right. After that is going to be Quintus. Quintus is going to attempt to do another. Oh, I have to hit the other button. And he's gonna roll a 1.
Oh my god.
It's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah, it is.
Doesn't confirm the 1. Okay. Damn, a confirmed fumble on Quintus would have been real good. So yeah, the all of the magic going around, the big light pillar plus the little darkness blots, it's making the shadow mark a little wonky. Or at least that's what he'll blame it on later.
Yeah, because Quintus does not fail.
Yeah, he didn't fail. You did something wrong. And Dandrin, it's your turn again.
I'm going to swing at his sword and his hand.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
Ooh,
buddy.
there's a 20.
Probably going to be that one, but let's see.
Wow.
Okay, we're going to go with the first one.
So you're gonna go with the sword.
Yeah. So his sword.
That was
takes
like
54
220
points of damage.
His sword takes how much?
54 points of damage. Any excess is dealt to him.
So the sword takes 54?
Yes. Any excess is dealt to him.
Fuck, man. Oh, hold on. Yeah, it does.
There's no way around this.
Yeah. Wait,
He
what?
I hope he insta-gibbed this vampire who went all grabby on his hammer.
Why is the sword? Oh, it's rolling a d8 plus 1 plus 3 and a d8 plus 1 plus 3 and 3d6. Okay, gotcha. I was like, why did it make 4 damage rolls? Because you have a ×3 weapon.
Gross.
Okay.
Gross.
So, yeah, you see the hilt of his sword just kind of bend awkwardly to the side, and the blade of his sword just bend awkwardly to the side, and he goes, and he throws it behind him, and he gets into a crouch, and he spreads his hands, and he goes, and his jaw just opens a bit farther than it looks like it should, and you see that he has these massive canines just.
Right, so it's your teeth
It
and
is-
your hands. You choose.
It is probably pretty apparent to you guys at this point, if you've never heard anything else about vampires, that holy shit, it's a fucking vampire.
I don't want this to get lost. He did 54 points of damage, and the excess is dealt to him.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was just describing the,
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you shrugged it off. I was like, no, I need to see this man float a bit.
No. He doesn't just shake it off. And Dandrin, your weapon is a. Hold on.
I was rooting for you to just crumple the fool, make him humble.
I've had to roll way higher for that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not quite.
The sword has a bunch of hit points that aid it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure this guy has like some kind of damage resistance as a vampire.
probably.
Because my weapon's just magical hammer. Oh, if it was a holy hammer.
Ah, if only we had kept the salt on it.
All right. It does look like you did a good hit to him. The hand that was holding the sword is kind of weirdly broken, and he's still sort of flexing it like he doesn't really care about the pain. And after that will be Delian. It's your turn, Mr.
Okay.
Hidden in the darkness over there.
So, is Sunder an attack maneuver, or is it like a combat maneuver?
All combat maneuvers are attacks.
So, what I'm hearing is a trip maneuver can be done twice.
Yes.
I would like to trip his left and his right leg.
Totem of Foresight.
So if you move in, when you
I'm using hook and pulley.
Okay. No. So his Sunder thing specifically says you can target a weapon or the armor or whatever. So he can target a weapon or the hand, that kind of thing. If you try to trip the dude, you're just tripping the person. You're not tripping his foot.
You could try and trip.
But you could try to trip him and her if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay, so roll first if you'd like on him.
Okay. It's been actually quite a bit since I've done a trip maneuver.
You have to roll a ranged touch attack to hit, which
Normally,
for your ranged
I
touch
do.
attack, you can just roll your short bow, because it's the same attack bonus.
Do I get a bonus since he has not seen this coming at all?
So did you make this deeper darkness, or did you just make it darkness?
I made it darkness, but he's facing Dandrin.
There's no facing in D&D. There's no facing in Pathfinder. You're generally aware of enemies on all sides of you.
Bummer.
He, in addition to that, has vampire senses and dark vision, so he can see through the darkness.
Well, fine then.
Like, the first time you put out deeper darkness, and I was like, oh shit, he won't be able to see through that. And then, like, this time you didn't, and so he...
No, I did not.
Cool. So he can see you.
Okay, that's fine.
So go ahead and roll a ranged touch attack against him.
Okie dokie. There's that one. And then I will do for the lady. I think I'm going to go with the 24, coach.
Okay. So now I believe what you do... this is the hook and pulley, right?
Yeah.
I remember the hook and pulley being like really weird.
Tech sphere, hook, pulley.
Okay, so now you make a combat maneuver bonus check. So you roll a d20 and add your CMB, whatever that is.
Okay.
So your CMB, I know your CMB is like really good for steel and is like kind of okay for...
Because I think we did something to make it so that my dex adds to my CMB.
Yeah,
comes to this sort of stuff.
If you're using it to steal or dirty trick, you're at a +8. If you're using it to drag, trip, or disarm, you're at a +4. So roll a d20 +4.
Sweet. Fuck off.
So it reaches out and it kind of grabs his foot and he just sort of shakes it off. And I believe that was your standard. Did you have a move that you wanted to do?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go here.
Okay. Do you have to spend a spell point each time you do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Sounds good.
I'm going to double check. But actually, no, I think I don't. But I'm going to check for you.
Sounds good. Then I will go to Marshall, and Marshall will say, "Stop. You can't let them in." And he says, "I know that. He's disarmed me. I thought that was your specialty. You're the duelist. I know that. He broke my saber."
Feels so good.
Dandrin, what's your touch AC?
Touch AC is only a 17.
Okay, so for Sidna gives you a +2, and it still hits you. And then since it still hits you, she will take the hit. So I instead need you to roll me a reflex save.
Oh.
So you will fail the reflex save. And...
I mean, technically I have cover on these attacks, right? 13?
That won't make it. And it's... okay, so for Sidna, we'll take 12, and Dandrin, you will take 7 points of cold damage.
So, Step Through Shadows lasts up for 1 hour per caster level. Jesus. So I have 4 hours of this.
That's crazy. And it's also kind of dope.
So I can do this forever.
Yeah. It's not bad.
This whole combat.
All right. And that was Marshall. And after that is going to be Lumio. Bonjour, Lumio. It is your turn.
All right. So the lightning wall seems to be going great. I'm going to hit him with...
try for fire.
Okay.
Acid.
I don't know about acid. I've never tried. But fire I know. And he's going to do a fire.
Converts all damage to lightning.
Whoopsie! No, I'm just gonna do what is it? No, not that.
Are you just gonna start stacking walls of fire?
That would be hilarious.
I'm gonna put one there.
Is that what you
I'm
want?
gonna put one there, and I'm gonna put one there.
Wall of blades, wall of blades, wall of blades, wall of blades.
Welcome to K-Rock 102, the wall of fire of smooth jazz here in Mapapippi.
Why so much jazz?
They're doing free jazz. Change the channel.
Let's just do the regular blast, but I'm going to change the type to where's the... Oh, god dang it. This is why I'm always surprised by smooth running combats. Electric blast. There it is. Yeah. He's wearing armor, right?
Yes, he is wearing armor.
Well, that'll kind of offset the fact that he's in melee combat with a friend. So
Are
Are
you doing your nonsense where you shoot a fire blast that gets the electric blast bonus?
Yeah, I am.
I fucking hate you sometimes.
If if I can get John Eric to say that every single round, my job is done.
All right, well, I'm going to shoot an ice blast at him, and since he's standing in a fireplace, I get bonus damage. The damage that I deal is salt damage. Wait, what?
The salt damage is calculated by John Eric's anger. Times 3.
What time is it? It's past 7 p.m. All right, he gets an extra plus 12.
It's called the time attack bonus. All right, yeah. Let me roll a quick. Magic first. That doesn't look like it changes anything, and then I'll get to just attack him.
Nope.
Actually, sorry, that's a +2 on that. 2.
A 15 will hit him.
Hey, all right.
It's like it will hit him right on the number.
I touched the guy, guys.
It's like his dex is a 20. Do your thing, man. Roll your damage.
All right.
Please roll the damage for your electrified fire blast.
9.
All right, that is a solid hit. You see that, like, unlike your wall of electricity, which he is standing in and does not seem to give much of a shit about, this one hits him, and it like, kind of hits him in the chest, and you actually hear him, like, ah!
It was a perfectly cut scream.
Yeah, it peeked out your microphone. Good
Your
job.
noise gate was so good. It just went.
See, what's funny is, like, I know that it all went through the stream because I saw it, like, go up, but I think that it peaked out on Discord, so that's kind of great.
So all we got was.
I'm glad that I could sound like one of the Martians from Mars Attacks. All right, Lumio, you do a solid hit with your nonsense. Would you like to take a move action?
No.
Okay. Did you want to roll a second attack roll against anyone else? Like, say, Frisina?
You know what? I hadn't considered that. Let's take a look.
I don't.
You know what?
I don't believe you can actually see her from where you are.
You could take an attack roll on Shrewd, and since he does not have a weapon equipped or a close range weapon equipped, he would not get an attack of opportunity.
I really like the makings of a good GM is to constantly ask your players if they want to betray the whole party for Scooby snacks, no less.
We haven't punched Quintus as hard as we punched Zarak, so I feel like Justin not being here is the perfect time to start that.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to move on to Nemeth. Dandarin, my sir, he is going to try to divest you of your goodies.
Vague and ominous.
So, he is realizing that the hammer is a bad, but the shield is potentially more of a bad. We're going to go with shield first. Does that hit your CMD? Did you say it doesn't?
I love it. It does
Does
not.
not.
I love it. I love it. Hell yeah, boy.
All right, and number 2 on the hammer.
So he takes my hammer?
He takes your hammer.
Yeah.
And it's not a standard disarm where he takes it. It looks like he chucked it somewhere. You don't really see where it goes. He, like, rips it out of your hands, and then he just... and it, like, vanishes into the room behind him somewhere. It didn't...
This is the
Not gonna save you.
Basically, what I'm saying is
second time
it doesn't just fall on your feet. He doesn't know that he just fucked himself, but I do. So, like...
I'm gonna use you as a hammer now.
He also will slightly heal.
What I think's funny, this is the second time Dandarin's lost his hammer.
I'm going to
It's
give
not-
it the enchantment that makes that not a thing.
Oh, good,
it's-
good.
It's not a prolonged combat unless Dandarin's hammer.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and
They don't understand. Everything's a hammer when you're a blacksmith, and everything else is a nail.
Dandarin, since he was able to disarm you, one sec, I clicked away from the page. His duelist sphere stuff will enact itself.
It's to attack me.
He doesn't get to attack you. You just take bleed damage because he disarmed you. So you will take 3 points of bleed damage. So on your, it doesn't hit you automatically. It will only happen on your turn. It's regular bleed damage. So on your turn, before your turn starts, you take 3 points of bleed.
Then do I make a fort save at the end of my turn?
For what?
Stop bleeding.
No. You bleed until you heal yourself, like standard bleed.
Mandarin's going to need Sharut to heal him.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was
After that, that's going to be for Sidna's turn. she will set up the combat patrol again, and she will then honestly, that's what she can do. She can like boost AC, but she can't boost CMD. So she will do what she can to guard you from like future hits. She can't do anything about the bleed, but if anything else is coming in, she's like, if you need to get behind me, get behind me. And Sharut, it's your turn.
How are my teammates looking?
Mandarin looks hurt, and I imagine Sidna also looks hurt.
Sidna looks, I believe, worse off than Dandrin. But yes, Sidna looks worse off than Dandrin. She doesn't look nearly as bad as during the slug attack, but she doesn't look great because she's taken splash damage twice, and she took that one big bomb right to the face.
So I'm in a bit of a pickle.
A little pickle, are you?
Yeah, because none of my salves are actually loaded into bolt vials, which is...
You'd have to move into range to heal.
Yeah, and I'm also at a very...
I mean, what you can do this round is heal yourself.
Yeah,
and then next round,
well,
go heal them.
That's why I was trying to figure out, it's like, are they worse off than me? Is the kind of question that I suppose that I was trying to pose.
It's a solid maybe. Like, they might be worse off than you. They're also the ones that are taking the damage.
Yeah, and they've taken a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm gonna heal me first.
Okay.
I have to.
So go ahead and roll to heal you.
That's 2d8 plus 4, I believe. Let me double check that. I should Mac for this. Pleasure practitioner. Okay, that's I heal 12 points of, and unfortunately, that is my turn.
Okay. So that's Sharut's turn. On Quintus's turn, he will shoot her, but him. And will actually hit. And can Quintus see her? Quintus can see her. He'll actually aim a shot at Marshall as well. He'll go with the shot on the guy that's threatening Dandrin and Forsidna, and he will do it for his Shadow Mark. And yeah. All right. And after that is going to be Dandrin.
Okay.
You have been disarmed.
Dandrin just pulls out the Beshk axe because he's got his weapon rack backpack, so he just pulls that out. And he just he's going to use the shield though because he's feeling saucy. So he's going to attack the guy's fangs and claws in that order.
Okay.
It's effectively the same as my hammer, so I'm just going to roll the hammer.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's at the fangs, and that's at the claws. And we're going to go with the fangs.
Okay, that'll hit then.
So he takes 19 to the fangs.
Okay, so it's a really probably weird experience for Dandrin, because what happens is you crack this guy in the face, and you see your shield literally like shatter his jaw, and his neck kind of turns back at this awkward angle, and you see that like oddly he is now smoking from where your shield impacted him, and that smoke turns into him literally just poof, he just turns into a cloud of gas.
I just punched him with a silver equivalent weapon.
Yeah. You knocked him out with a mithril shield, which is a silver equivalent weapon. Yeah, you said 19 total?
And he would take, if he's still alive, which I don't think he is, he takes a -3 penalty to his attacks with that particular weapon, so with bite attacks.
Okay. For how long?
Until he gets healed. If I've turned off his fast healing or his regeneration, then he doesn't get that. But if he gets healed by some means...
all right. And after that, and you just hear this like shrieking like, Now! Nemeth, you wakeful!
Listen, stand down, or you're gonna join the rest of the corpses I put under them.
I can't!
Just close your eyes and pretend it didn't happen.
And Deleon, it's your turn.
Wonderful. I'm gonna pop right there. Actually, yeah, we're gonna go right there. And either trip or stab her.
Are you trying to trip her with the hookshot?
No, because at that point it would provoke.
Okay, so you're just trying to trip her with, like, I don't know, your kukri or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So give me the trip attack and then the stab attack, and we'll decide which one you're going with.
Okie dokie.
So
there's trip first.
Yeah, which I believe is a d20 plus 4?
Oh, well, 26 then.
Okay. No, because you add more than a plus 4 for your thing.
Okay, because I just rolled.
Okay.
I didn't.
So you rolled a d20, so it's a critical trip. And then roll your stab that you're trying to stab her with.
Okay.
Okay. And Which of those would you like to pick?
I would definitely like to critically trip.
Okay.
I don't know what that looks like, but I want to see it.
So the question that I have for you is, do you have improved trip or anything that grants you an equivalent of improved trip? Okay, so you can
Does
still.
your weapon have the trip quality?
A kukri?
I don't think it does, but
I don't think it does.
I will check. I don't believe kukris do have the trip quality, but they might. They have no combat maneuver qualities, probably because their crit is so good. Okay, so what this means is that you've provoked an attack of opportunity from her.
Okay.
For trying to trip her. You might still trip her, but she does get the attack of opportunity on you.
That's A-okay.
So she will attempt an attack of opportunity on you.
And miss.
You have no idea how
lovingly,
just incredibly frustrated I am about this.
She's just all of a sudden goes Smeechy, and then falls flat on her face.
She does not do that. Smeechy! However, yes, you do knock her down. She is prone now. Yeah, so you kind of teleport to her and then just hook her calf with your kukri and just whip and just trip her.
I love it.
Nice. Weird, but sure. Okay. After that will be her. So she's going to stand up, which will provoke an attack of opportunity from you.
Fantastic.
So go ahead and make an attack of opportunity. That will not hit her. So
okay.
She will stand up. And then, do you have combat reflexes? Because she's about to provoke another attack of opportunity.
I don't believe I do.
Okay. So since you don't have combat reflexes, what she does is she tries to reach out and smack you. And as she's reaching out to smack you, she drops a bomb right on you.
Okay.
So number 1 will be the smack.
Yeah, I have no.
Does a 16 hit you?
No.
All right. And number 2 will be the ranged touch attack of a bomb. Does a 14 hit your touch AC?
It's directly 14.
Okay, so yes.
Okay, yeah, I thought ties go to attacker.
Okay, so here's the thing. Actually, no. Because for Sidna, we'll spend an attack of opportunity to give you a +3. Because you're in her combat patrol now.
I sure am.
So for Sidna, we'll give you a +3, which means that it misses. So instead, what happens is you, Dandrin, and Forsidna all need to save against splash damage because it missed. I'm not going to roll to see which square it drops in. She dropped it, like, right on you.
In reflex save, you say?
Yeah, it's a reflex save, which Dandrin is just, like, not having. And Forsidna is also not having. And you are also not having. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
So all three of you take 7 cold damage.
Does safety help me with that?
Safety doesn't give you any sort of cold resistance.
Nah, I tried to shoot
safety
for it.
Normally gives you just the attack and a little bit of extra perception stuffs.
It's all right.
Because you can have safety do shit like look around corners. And okay, so that was her turn, which was an abomination. And after that is going to be Lumio's turn, which I'm sure will be equally abominable.
I mean, this whole combat is starting to turn into quite a shit show.
I can't see her.
I don't know who put the spell grease everywhere, but
yeah, I can't see her. I don't know what you guys are attacking.
Oh, I mean, from where you are, you've seen the bombs that are like coming out of this place, like. You're seeing like the vials that are coming in and being thrown.
And I just took a swing at something.
Yeah.
I don't even see you.
Well, yeah, but he can't see you. That's the other thing.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
Hey, let me help you. Can you see what I'm swinging at? How about now? I'm poking at it. It's there. So that works. That works for me.
Fair enough.
So Lumio, can I prepare another fire attack? To go off when I see something worth attacking, or because I don't.
So basically, just like ready in action to attack if you see somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start kind of. You're not quite casting, but you're ready. If you see somebody, you will immediately go.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. After that is going to be We can remove Nimith from the thing. It'll be for Sidna, who will set up a combat patrol. And after that is going to be Sharut. Sharut, it's your turn.
So Sharut has dark vision. He can see who.
You can see Delian, yes.
Okay, so he can see Delian fighting some.
Yeah,
basically.
Delian's right here and basically just appeared there and then reached out with his knife and tripped someone.
Sharut will go here.
Okay,
Oh, God.
so this wall is still here? You will be passing through it.
Is it a reflex save?
No, you don't get a save. If you walk through it, you don't get a save.
Yeah, you just take it.
Yeah.
Can I move here and still shoot her?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Sharut, I think for Sidney and Dandrin both look really, really bad.
Okay, so
I go down on my next turn. I have to be healed.
Yeah. There comes a point where
you
you
try to
need to be
shoot
the
her.
doctor, man.
Oh,
Like,
man.
you're the healer in the group.
Yeah, I think for Sidney's probably at a very similar point.
Okay. I'll heal Dandrin.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
+4. Dandrin heals 16.
All right. And after that will be Quintus. He can see her, so he's going to try to attack. It's not quite as easy as shooting the dude who was right in the front. Or maybe it is and I'm lying. Well, this will be fun.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn.
So yeah, he launches this like bolt of shadows that just kind of starts flying towards her, and then it picks up a lot of weight as it gets closer to Delian's sphere of darkness, and then it just blams right into her chest. And yeah, after that is going to be Dandarin.
Okay. Is Nimith like he's disintegrated, like he's been ashed, or is he like just on the ground?
No, like you hit him really, really hard, and his whole body turned into smoke.
Okay, cool.
You hit him so hard that his whole body became just poof.
So
wanted to be
beyond ashed, or
Sounds
in
like he's
that
saying he
case,
did.
Dandrin is not going to walk through this. Lumio, do you mind dropping this whenever you can?
Oh, sure.
if you can do,
Dandrin's going
can you
to
do that as a
ready-
free action?
No, it's a standard action to dismiss the spell.
Dandrin's going to be in action when Lumio drops that. He's going to
Okay. So we'll
he'll hold.
yeah, you'll hold. Actually, Lumio, I believe you're the one person here who's trained in knowledge religion.
Yeah.
If you would like to give me a knowledge religion check, you might be the
Oh, sure.
only person that knows what just happened.
Where's
Come
my?
on,
There it
Andy.
is.
Holy shit.
Hey, I didn't suck it.
Oh
Okay.
my god, I'm buying you a beer.
So here's the thing, and Lumio, you didn't really realize this until the smoking of that of Nimith. What you realize as soon as Dandarin hits him, and because like there's a lot of different types of undead that sort of look like that. Whites kind of look like that. Ghouls kind of look like that. Bigger tongues, bigger teeth. And so it was hard to tell exactly what these are. And then as soon as the thing gasses when Dandarin hits it, you realize it's a vampire. And you realize that the thing that happened is not that it's dead, it's that it's disabled. What happens when you take a vampire down isn't usually that they die, it's that they become gas and they flee. And with all the darkness behind it, you don't necessarily know where it went. You just know that it turned into gas. However, that was a pretty good roll. If you'd like, you get 3 questions to ask about vampires.
I feel like this is a bad question, but what could compel them to do something?
What could compel them to do something? Pretty easy question, actually, is when a vampire is created, and not just abandoned, like somebody doesn't just eat one and then leave it there and run off, that means that its master is still around. And the master can impose unbreakable rules on its spawn. So something that could compel a vampire to do something would be a master going, you cannot do X, and then it just can't. Or you have to do Y, and then it would have to do it. So that's what could compel it to do something. That was 1. You got 1 more.
Okay.
Sorry, 2 more.
So if okay, so that's that, and then oh man, there's probably a couple of good questions here.
You want hints on like things that people usually ask?
Yeah, that'd be good.
So things that people usually ask are things like, what are the special attacks? What are special defenses? Does it have any weaknesses? Does it have any abilities that I should know about that aren't necessarily attacks but might be useful or whatever?
Yeah. Let's go with the the attacks one, does it have any special attacks that I should be aware
of? So it has the standard vampire special attack of if it grapples you, it's going to drain your blood.
And that's very bad.
And a blood drain for a vampire is less a strength drain and more a vitality drain, so it drains con. The other special attack they have is a slam that will drain a creature's soul essence, essentially. It can hit you so hard that it makes you weaker as a person. It makes you less of a person. It drains a level. That's how it works.
Oh, shit.
Huh.
I have tried to do this to Delian and to Dandrin now multiple times, and I keep rolling like 2s.
Well, I'm glad you didn't drain a level. Fuck.
Yeah. Okay. And you know what? Let's go for the trifecta. What do we got for weaknesses?
For weaknesses, there's a couple. One of them is like this sort of religious symbols, but it has to be like held by somebody with a proper faith, and it has to typically be a faith that like the vampire itself cares about. There's also the weakness of silver. Silver as a weakness, what I mean by that is that a magical silver item will bypass their damage reduction, whereas a normal weapon won't, or a normal magic weapon won't.
So the silver dagger that Lumio has?
The silver dagger that Lumio has is a masterwork silver dagger, but it's not a magical silver dagger, so it won't do anything.
Okay. Well,
So basically, Lumio puts all that together when he sees the thing kind of get gassed. And just letting you know that. And then we'll move on past Dandrin, who is holding his turn, to Delian.
Oh, yeah. Can I take 2 move actions in lieu of a standard?
You can downgrade a standard action to a move action.
Fantastic.
What would you like to do?
5 foot here.
Okay.
Peace out, Cub Scout.
So you can't take a 5-foot step in the same turn that you want to move. Like, if you take a 5-foot step, it's your only movement for the whole turn.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
If you want to withdraw, you can spend a full round action to withdraw, which means that the first square that you leave doesn't provoke, but only the first square that you leave.
Yeah.
You could also, if you want to, just roll an acrobatics check to try to, like, cartwheel away without provoking an attack of opportunity.
And if it's like, those are my normal, I can't just, like, dip out.
What do you mean by dip out? Just like leave?
I just teleport.
You can teleport. I'm gonna say that like you're enacting a magical ability, so it will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay, because nothing I have. All right, I'm gonna 5-foot step here and try to trip again.
Oh, with the hook and pulley?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a range touch attack.
Because I don't want to just be a complete coward. Nah.
Okay. You try to do it. You try to shoot it past her. It doesn't work.
That's fine.
All right. And after that is gonna be her. She is going to step back to there. And she's going to throw once again at, well, she throws it for Sidna. She can hit all of you anyway. So she's going to try to throw it at for Sidna. That will hit for Sidna. Can all of you who ain't for Sidna, but are in basically that same area, give me a reflex save, please. All right. So, Dandrin and Delian, you both take full damage from this. Sharut, you will take half damage. So Dandrin and Delian, you both take 7. Sharut, you take 3. For Sidna, will take 12. And she will go down. Do we not have a button for like unconscious in all of this? Weird. There's so many different like little things, but there's nothing for like unconscious. She's dead. There you go.
No.
What's weird is that if you click the dead in the little thing on the side, it's a little bitty skull. But if I click it over here, it's a big skull. All right. And after that is going to be Lumio. Lumio, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna let the lightning wall go down. I'm gonna tell everybody that there are vampires here, and I'm gonna ask Shrewd to make sure that Forsidna is okay, and then I'll try to drag her out of the combat. I think I can do all that.
So, yeah, you can a standard action to drop the wall, and then you can move to Forsidna and kind of grab her, and then move basically back to where you were. That's about as far as you can get, because you are not strong.
True.
Like
true.
Like pretty much the exact opposite of strong. Which is to say, sort of weak.
Well, if you have to put a label on it, that's kind of the label you should put on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you you go in there, you grab her, you drag her out, and you drop the wall.
Yeah.
And do you tell...
Also mention that it's a vampire. They're vampires. They're compelled by their master to keep us out of there.
Do you say anything else?
They're weak to silver. Their master's probably, what's her name? She's unconscious. You can't tell them to stop. I don't know what else.
The silver thing was probably the thing that is probably most relevant.
Okay.
Like, hey, silver hurts him.
Yeah.
Okay. After that will be...
I would like to go.
Yeah. Dandarin held his turn, so Dandarin, you will be in, put you in 15.3. So, 1 sec. All right, Dandarin, it's your turn.
Up here. I'm going to say hello.
Hello.
And I am going to the totem of foresight because it looks like it's in this area.
If
I
you
don't
can
know where
see the light,
The totem
you can
of
see
foresight
it.
is right here. It is.
Oh, then yeah,
it's
totally,
still there.
totally effective.
You want to know if you're affected? Hold on. Let me.
If he can see the light from it, he's affected by it.
Yes, you're still in the spot where you are affected.
Okay, cool, good. In that case, I will attack since I know she's a vampire now. I'm going to punch her in her fangs and her hand.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm using the shield.
Okay.
Bashy, and I'm going to go with the first one.
The hit to her fangs will hit.
Right.
How much damage is that?
So she's going to take this many. And she takes a -3 to attacks with her fangs, which she hasn't been doing until she is healed.
Did she take all 17?
No, she only takes the 9. Sorry, she takes the 9, and she just takes the -3.
Okay.
That's what happens. Yes, because it doesn't go over unless yes.
All right, and nice round there. And then after that is going to be for Sidna. Let me roll D. She is going to lose a hit point. And after that is Sharut. It's your turn.
Beep, beep, beep. And apply the last salve he had.
Okay, so that'll take her to 32. Okay. She will no longer have the death mark. She's awake. She's still prone, and she's like, ugh, I hate combat alchemists. They're almost as bad as artificers.
Understand. We're annoying.
Well, you are right, but the statement stands. All right, and after that will be Quintus, who will move in to Shah, and he is going to. Oh wait, he still has one. He has one shadow mark point. That's what Justin told me. So he will do his one shadow mark point left and attempt to shoot her not as a full round action, and he will hit her for 3 damage.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow.
Hey,
Oh,
I got a
you.
6d6 crit earlier that was like
That's true.
was
It's
like
the only
4
good roll
ones.
you've had really today.
Hey, sir. You know what? Everybody but Delian gets a hero point. How you like that one?
You're welcome.
Good.
Good. Yeah, way to go,
Yes.
Quintus. All right. And Delian, it's your turn. Dandarin and Delian, now that you guys can see in this room, there is a ton of alchemical equipment in this room. You're seeing these huge vats that are kind of bordering on stills, like distillery stills.
Yeah.
You're seeing what sort of looks like something that might work as like a centrifuge or something like that. There's tables that are just loaded with like beakers and burners and all kinds of stuff over here. It is a large and somewhat well-stocked laboratory.
Okay. That's pretty nice. I'm going to shoot her with my shadow stuff. Shadow mark.
Okay. Go ahead and make the attack roll for me. Do you have precise shot?
No,
Okay.
of course not.
So go ahead and roll it.
I think it's just the short bow for...
It'll be the same as your
No,
short
it's
bow, yeah.
range touch attack. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. It goes against a different AC, but it's still a short bow. That will hit, even with the
Okay.
-4 penalty, that'll hit.
And then 1d6... 2 maximum. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think it's just 1d6 for me because I'm not really strong in the Fey Adept.
Hold on. It takes 1d6 damage. It improves by 1d6 for every odd class level. So for you,
So
it'll be
2d6.
2d6. It'll be 2d6. Quintus has focused on it a little bit more, so for him it's d8s.
Fuck.
Okay. Yeah, so like you do kind of the same thing that Quintus did a second ago, where like you fire the shot and it's kind of this piddly little like sort of bolt of shadow but as it goes through your sphere of darkness, it just gathers a ton of mass. And it slams into her chest. And you just see it like it hits her so hard that she turns into gas.
That's wicked.
And like her clothing, her body, everything just poof.
I look over at Quintus and give a finger gun, and I say, finger guns.
Yes, you did very well.
What are guns?
I don't know.
Guns don't exist in Eberron because wands are freaking everywhere.
Yeah, it's
finger
it just felt right to say.
Finger wands.
Finger wands.
Finger wands. Yeah, it's just one finger. Finger wands.
Magic missiles. All right, so I'll end combat here, and I will remove the various bits, and
Andrew will pick up his hammer.
Sharut will immediately sit down, pull out his alchemist kit, and start crafting salves.
There's
use
loads
his
of
alchemist
alchemist
kit.
equipment.
Yeah.
Will not increase productivity. Check soon. Best if I start now, cause based off of injuries, more healing is needed.
That's for sure.
you know what's weird? I can't remove this square. I don't know why.
It is eternally warded.
Yeah.
Cinda will guard it for all eternity.
Lucinda has become the Uber God. All right. So
Garden.
Okay, there we go.
I think what I'm gonna do. Hang on.
And Dandarin, Delian, and Quintus give me perception checks. Lumio and Sharut, you can also give them, but due to sort of distance and the like difficulty of seeing, actually Lumio you can't. There's no way for you to see this.
Cool.
And Quintus can't either. It would just be Delian and Dandarin and Sharut at a -4. Delian, you don't see it. Dandarin, you do. So Dandarin,
I don't see it either.
Dandarin, you were the only one that saw it. You didn't catch it when the first one smoked, but you caught it when the second one did, because she did it right in front of you, and she sort of like poofs into the air, and then it kind of settles on the ground, and then you see the smoke kind of travel along the ground, like it's in kind of a wind that you don't really feel, and it travels along the ground like this, and then it all just sinks into this vent. You are the only one who has seen this, though. Because
Hold on, everyone. Just a minute. While Sharut is over here doing his thing, Dandarin's going to just... I assume that it's an alchemy lab. There's probably some metal things somewhere that aren't necessarily important.
yeah.
Dandarin's just going to pop them off and then pop it on.
Yeah, you pop it off, and it looks like there's some sort of a drainage system. You see when you pop it off, what you see is a pipe, and the pipe goes both ways in the hallway. It goes to the left, and it also goes to the right. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a sewer. It's not like something you can climb down. It's a pipe.
It's probably for this purpose or for draining liquids. Either way, Dandarin is going to... if there's anything metallic in here...
There's a ton of metallic stuff in there.
Cool. Dandarin's going to just chunk off some of it from this table here.
Okay.
And just going to close this.
Okay. Yeah.
Basically,
It's
pat, pat, pat.
Give me a blacksmith check at like a minus. I'm gonna say like a -4. You make what you consider to be a pretty good cover. You like put the grate back in place, and then you kind of like hammer something down, and you go in there and you're looking for some sort of like, there's got to be some sort of adhesive in here just to like fill in the gaps, and you kind of find something that you think works, and you put it down and you fill in the gaps around it so that there's just this like bubble plate over this grate. And it's about the best you could do given the materials that you have on hand.
Sure. It wouldn't happen to be like a small, like, I know there's the still vats. There wouldn't happen to be like barrels of anything, would there?
There's no, not really.
Okay, no chest or crates or any of that?
No, nothing like that. However, you were in such a place that you could see a thing. And I will just put them on the map so that you can see them, because there's just a window there. What the fuck? Oh, it arrived dead.
God, there's corpses. Corpses everywhere.
I assume it's in here somewhere.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get them. So what you see is in here. You can put you right there so that you can see them, and then you can kind of get over here so you can see the other ones. What you see are you remember that thing that Kringauer had in
that
Star
lizard
Lasker?
pet thing
That
he had?
lizard thing that he had. So those are pretty frequent kind of guardian / combat pets for people from the West.
Okay.
You know, like beyond Brayland. And what you see are 4 of those. However, they look different. And by different, I mean not well. 2 of them, those 2 being this one and this one, are strapped to these beds that they're on. The other 2, being this one and this one, are just kind of walking around. They're just doing their thing. But like when one of them turns, you can see that there's like long, just violent gashes down one side of it.
Okay.
And when another one turns, you remember these things having kind of like a poison bite. But given the little spots and sizzle that you're seeing happen every now and then when these things snap at each other, you think that it's probably not poison anymore. Because now their spit is actually just making the ground kind of, and you see little whisks of smoke going up.
Oh, all right. Danderin's going to come over here and he's going to make sure the door is locked.
The door is locked.
To clarify, John Eric, I'm making sure the door is locked.
Well, I mean, the door is locked. I don't know what else you think you can do. Like, blacksmiths aren't magic.
Arcane.
Oh,
stuff.
oh, fuck! You actually
arcane
are
logic.
magic.
This blacksmith
Dandrin is going to turn
is
himself
magic.
with his shield so that the party can't see, and he's going to lock the door with his
Okay.
tools.
So there's a little shing over the door, and like no one can really see it because you have a huge tower shield, and you arcane lock the door. Okay, so now the door is arcane lock, and it just won't open again. That is, I was like, you were like, he's gonna make sure it's locked, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's locked.
I'm sure about that.
Okay, so while you're doing that, and Sharut, you said you were going to, was it take 10 minutes to craft some salves?
It's 15 minutes, and I get to craft 2 salves, but I am going to be an impatient son of a bitch, and I'm going to spend a hero point to get +8 to the roll,
Okay.
and I'm going to increase the DC on the roll by 10,
Okay.
so these salves can heal some extra goodness.
All right.
Wicked.
Give me just a second. I want to make sure I have.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna just build some more hook and pulleys and shit.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Anyone's
so-
equipment damaged?
No.
Danderin's going to go around just checking.
No, she wasn't throwing anything that just directly damaged equipment. Oh, also, you can find your hammer, and your hammer is there. That's how far he could throw it.
Okay, so
God.
it's plus
Dandrin will pick up his hammer,
Yeah.
8
place the axe, and do it.
plus 1 because of the so a total of +9. Total +9 because of the what is it, the portable alchemist kit or whatever
Okay,
it is.
so go ahead and roll it.
Yep,
Nice.
to D,
Pretty good.
and then
Pretty.
who is still,
pretty.
so is it just no, Deline is still hurt. I know
Yep.
Fasidna is more hurt, and then Dandrin is more hurt.
Yeah.
So
Frisidna's less, hurt and more like barely conscious.
yeah, I'll just basically use. Hang on, let me track my hero points properly.
I mean, you also don't have to spend hero points to like make your heal check. You could probably just
No,
make your heal check.
I don't. But when so that's the thing is, if I could make a heal check for Dandrin and for Sidna, I'd love to, but I can't because they used those earlier today
Oh,
because of last session. Like I'd love to do that,
Lola
I
coaster.
can't. Yeah.
I thought you only used 3 on Frisidna.
No, I used 4 because she needed both healing and strength healing.
So you're saying that I have made you use the proper amount of resources.
I'm saying is that like, look, hey, dudes, I'm trying to best to manage my resources.
No,
and
you're good.
keep getting fucking hurt. Hang on, let me.
I think you only used 3 on Dandrin because Dandrin didn't have any hit point damage. He only had strength damage.
No, I used
Did you use
4
4?
on. I used 4 on Dannerin because one of them failed.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he
that's
tried to make the roll to give you back the stuff, and he bottomed out or something.
Oh, that's right.
All right, so go ahead and roll to see how much you heal for Sidna and Dannerin for.
Okay, so that is going to be, because they are increased by 10, that's going to be a +5 to the roll. So +9 total. We'll say Dandarin.
Okay.
It's 25.
Damn,
Yeah.
that maxed out too. Way to go, man. Okay.
And then here is for Sidna.
And 21, which will leave her with 11. She will sink 21 feet closer to the ground. All right.
Sharut will look at his comrades and be like,
Sharut can stay here for another 15 minutes. Make more salves, but believe time is of essence.
Agree. Dandarin's going to take a potion out of his pack.
Okay.
A Cure Light potion. It's
All
the
right.
only one I have of that.
And Frisidna is going to do the same thing because she has 3 of those.
he's going to make hard eye contact with Persidna and Dandarin and say,
If more trouble ahead, Sharut will not be able to heal. Understand? Yes?
Fully noted.
This is the job.
Good.
If
and then he'll walk over to Delian because he knows that Delian did get hit during that combat, and he'll be like,
Sit!
Okay, I was going to anyway. Don't need to be so forceful, goddamn.
No time. Sit!
sit.
Oh, Jesus. Which is
Must
weird. How
perform
tall are
surgery
you?
now.
All right. While you're healing him, Lumio, are you doing anything? You can see the Dradigans in there.
What are Dradigans?
So when you guys fought Kringauer, the big ogre in Star Lasker, he had a pet Dradigan. Remember,
That
Bowin
lizard
killed
thing?
it, and then in revenge, Kringauer killed her.
Yeah.
It's something that is often used as like a hunting pet in Droam. It's basically like sort of a mixture of like a Komodo dragon with like a panther.
And they're tied to the beds?
So the 2 that are farthest away from you, this one and this one, are both strapped to the bed. This one and this one look to have either chewed through or broken through or something like that. They're straps, and they are just, you just see them kind of walking around doing their thing.
Oh,
And
it is a
they're-
very good thing that door is closed.
And every now and then they'll like snap at each other, and you see that they go like, and then they'll just walk away. But when they do snap at each other, like a bunch of spittle will go flying out of their mouths. And when it goes flying out of their mouths, wherever it drops, you see the stone kind of hiss and sizzle and pop.
Oh, dear. I don't like that. Are we ready to continue?
Must heal Delian first.
Sharut needs a minute.
He keeps talking difficult.
You also, by the way, I don't think I told Dandarin this, but Dandarin, you would have seen it too. Lumio, when you're over here, you can make out basically a table over here lined with like medical instruments, like hooks and blades and saws and pliers and calipers, forceps, and all kinds of like the things that humans use in a medical type of setting.
So for torturing.
If you want to look at it that
Probably
way,
for surgery.
that's what they see. What you see is medical tools. If Lumio thinks they're for torturing, yeah, I mean it would totally work for that because they're knives. But and then like I said, in here you have like a bunch of alchemy stuff. You have some stills. You have some machine that's like got a bunch of pipes and tubes running back and forth from it. You've got centrifuges and stuff like that. So yeah. All right.
Well, I don't need any of that.
So Sharut, you heal everybody up?
let me just do the roll for Delian,
Oh, okay.
because he's the one that I can actually use my kits on. Not great. Delian heals 6 plus 2, but 6 times 2. I believe that's 14 points of damage.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And you have, sure it's going to say,
Stitches growing weak. Can do once more for a day. Otherwise, not good.
I mean, I'm doing pretty all right. Like, compared to that fucking winged cape thing, this is nothing.
When a giant aberration doesn't focus on me, I'm good.
Inner monologue, you know what I think.
Safety.
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 Fair enough.
All right.
Stay
So,
safe.
so Sharut, you heal everybody up, and then is everybody else going to wait while Sharut makes another round of salves, or what are you guys doing?
I
Yeah.
think we're going to explore
Okay.
All right.
like, I'm
cautiously, though.
I'm okay with them exploring while Sharut makes another round of salves.
Okay. So what would you all like to explore?
So it looks like there's some doors this way in a hallway.
And it'll wait here for everyone to kind of gather up.
Yeah. So actually, Dandarin, as you move closer to there, can you give me a perception check at a +2?
Oh, unusual stonework this is.
So you actually, I'm realizing now, like just now, as in this very moment, that I didn't make this token, and I completely should have. Dandrin.
There's always one at the ready.
Shut up. Dandrin. In this operating chair, you see a woman who looks like the woman that was described to you as being who you were here to see. She's a human. She is fairly plain in the face, but with that kind of like severe beauty that you've seen a lot of Syrian humans have. And she looks just covered in blood. Like she's still wearing clothes, and it looks like the clothes that she's in, she was attacked by someone who just shouted PETA and animal freedom and like threw just gobs and gobs of blood on her.
She's in this chair, you said?
She's in this chair right here, yeah. And from what you can make out of her skin underneath the bits where it's kind of where it's not covered in the blood, she looks very, very pale, and you see her kind of like shaking her head back and forth. She's currently tied down to the bed, and she's doing this kind of thing, like she's having a really, really bad dream.
Sharut, I think I found her.
Sharut quits his work and starts heading down the hall.
Okay.
Based on what we've seen, I think they've done something to her.
Where is he seeing her?
He's seeing her right here.
Can I do a heal check just to see, or kind of get a gist of what's going on?
Without going in there?
Yeah.
Sure. Give me a heal check, but because of distance, like you're gonna get kind of a bonus because you're gonna get a bonus, but you're also gonna get kind of a penalty because of distance and not having direct contact. So give me a heal check at a -4.
Okay. Subtract 2 from that.
All right.
25.
25. You're pretty sure that she has been turned into a vampire.
She's been afflicted with undeath.
Dandrin's going to immediately turn to Lumio. Lumio, what happens to new fledgling vampires? Is there a grace period to heal them?
Do I know that?
You know what? Give me another knowledge religion check. But based on your success for the last one, apparently Lumio's looked into vampires a bit, so get a +4. I'm assuming that Lumio had to fight Karnathi vampires at some point.
Not bad. So 21.
All right. There you go. That's how she looked.
I can describe her to you.
So with a 21. So typically, fledgling vampires are going to be very, very confused and then ravenously hungry. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it goes. It sort of starts out with one and then it goes to the other. Depending on how hungry, they might be like more animal than person when they wake up.
This is a important time of flux. Effectively, she's lost many of her human restraints. They'll return, but after feeding, which is not going to be something we should help with.
Vampires drink blood, right? That's their whole shtick?
Yes.
All right. It just has to be living blood. It doesn't have to be like a person's blood, right?
You know that they prefer a person.
There's a strong preference.
Vampires can live on animals, but it's sort of like only eating bland rice when you could be eating everything that you wanted. Like that's kind of the difference.
Wait, I'm sorry, I missed this. Have we already ruled out trying to get rid of the vampirism?
Nobody has brought it up.
I did. I explicitly said, is there like a grace period where it can be cured?
Oh, Lumio, with your knowledge, as far as you know, no. It is very much a one-way sort of transformation. Or at the very least, you have never heard of anyone going back.
I was a member of the Undying Cult.
In any case, perhaps making her feed off of not humans is best course, yes?
Probably. She knew she won't know any different. Hold on one second while we're talking about that. Dandrin saw 2 other things, so he's going to come back in here.
Sure.
Some more stuff, and then the other one.
Okay, go ahead and give me a Another check and a -4. Same
Do the
roll.
same.
You're able to do the same thing to this one. You don't think that you don't have enough to do the same thing over here. Like, there's just they didn't have like this is an alchemy lab. They don't really have like and then we have
Sheet metal.
Yeah, we have a bunch of spare sheet metal. Like most of what they have is being used. So
They have stone?
no, you're actually not seeing anything in the way of additional building materials either.
Yeah, and it would take too long for me to actually mason out the
Yeah.
Sharut is going to. I think like when Sharut goes to like the second vent and he starts working on it, Sharut's gonna call out. It's like,
Dandrin, need you to make strange request. Need you to make what is word?
Coffin,
No.
Jelly?
No.
hatchet.
describe the device to me.
Thing you put in mouth to keep person from biting.
Jelly.
God, or a mouth guard, or a gag.
One of those, yes.
I can make one.
Please.
Let me finish this grate really quick. Dander will finish the grate, and then while they're doing something, Dander will go and question a gag.
I just love in this whole thing, like
there's-
Fursidna chimes in with jelly.
Jelly.
So,
There is
John Eric.
Yeah.
Have you seen Demon Slayer?
No. That
Okay.
sounds like an anime, and I don't necessarily do that.
Yes.
dude, you'd
It's a
love
good one,
that.
but Nozumi or
No.
Nezumi, her mouth guard that she has.
It's a
Basically,
piece of bamboo.
Cylindrical. Yeah, it's a cylindrical mouth guard. Just
I mean, that
So-
sounds like a mouth guard.
so he's
It sounds like what it's essentially a mouth guard with like a bit in it.
it's a bit, yeah.
It's basically a bit.
Uh,
It's not so much a gag as it's more of a bit.
yeah. I don't know how you're gonna make this with what you have on hand, but sure.
There's a lot of tubes around.
They're being used for things.
My
They're-
equipment.
So here's the thing, like I get that you think you can break everything apart. It's an alchemy lab. If you just go in there swinging, shit explodes.
Oh, you're right.
You're like, we probably
You're right.
don't need all this. Bang, boom.
Chirut. I need you to identify components in an alchemy lab if you feel comfortable. Otherwise, we're low on materials to make a gag.
What's the bite force of a
So-
vampire?
Sharut.
An African or European variant?
I think European at this point.
Yeah.
I would feel Sharut got a glimpse of the lab as he walked by, and Sharut's gonna say,
No pipes in there. No good. No good.
Right?
Uh,
I'm gonna go take that dude's sword.
It's not there.
I'm
Oh,
just
wait,
going to
wait. Sorry. His sword actually is there. His sword actually
He
is
threw it away.
there. Yeah. Yeah, you can grab his sword.
I'm gonna do my dumb blacksmith thing. Basically, roll his sword in on itself to make it just a
Sure.
have a class feature. Dumb. Is if his sword is magical though,
It is magical.
I can't do it in a decent time frame.
Okay. You can't do it in a decent time frame?
If it's a magical, I can still do it, but I have I have different time periods for non-magical thing. I can just nonsense into whatever I want.
Yeah.
Magical, 8 hours minimum. to
Okay.
change it.
Yes, it is a magical sword.
Oh.
Then Dandrin just takes it because it's not broken for Dandrin.
Yeah.
But it gets stored away.
I can just tie rope around her mouth.
Does anyone have any excess, a walking stick or anything like that? A pole, just a wooden club, anything I could just chop off and then.
All right.
Delian
So
takes his
collectively,
rope.
the group seems to be on some sort of pot. Please shit into the pot or get
Yeah.
off the pot.
"Okay, Sharut's
I
gonna
It
would
look
takes a
to,
collection
rope.
of stuff.
no, Sharut's gonna just look to Delian because he can see that Dandrin's struggling and say,
Yes, we'll have to use rope, I suppose. Must move
Okay.
quickly.
Yep, no problem. It's one thing that I do
and
very well.
he's gonna yell towards the rest of the group
Must move quickly.
to get them to like follow him towards the door.
All right.
Pin
I'm
down.
just gonna wrap her up.
Pin down.
Down here.
Take care of threats quickly. Tie down threats quickly. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Dandrin will attempt to. Is the door locked?
No. Door opens right up.
Okay, so basically when they open the door, bomb rush.
Is there, if we just run in John Eric, is there going to be a stopper?
No. You guys get in and you get to her. And who is attempting to put the gag on her? It was Sharut.
No, it's me.
It was Delian. Delian, can you give me a? This is essentially kind of a grapple check. So I believe your normal like I'm gonna grapple you is gonna be like a D20 plus 4. You'll get a plus 4 bonus to this because she's kind of held down.
Okay.
But basically, the second that you guys get kind of close to her, you see her eyes just snap open, and she goes, You all smell so good. Just
Thanks,
a
it's
taste.
perfume.
Just a taste, please.
No.
Lumio,
That's
you
good.
want to do this?
No,
Don't have blood.
No, no. No, 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 no.
no.
No, please no.
So it'll be a D20 plus 8, I believe. for
D20
you.
plus 8. I'm going to spend a hero point, so it's a D20 plus 16.
You.
Because the last thing I want to be is a vampire.
Why? They love to hang out in the dark and stuff. That's your jam.
Yeah. Sure.
They also can transform into bats and like form into mist. Apparently.
Oh, yeah.
which is pretty
And
neat.
they hate the silver flame. I love the silver flame. Big fan of the silver flame.
They all
Big
get their
fan.
own mark. They all get their own motorcycle for like free.
I like that Delian's like, I'm a big fan of whatever's beneficial at this moment.
Yes. Yep. Hey, you
There are no atheists in the foxhole.
Okay, so like she's still struggling against her straps, and you manage to kind of clamber onto the head of the bed, and you take the rope and you kind of like double it over and you shove it into her mouth, and as you're tying it around the back of her head, the door right here and the door right here both open,
God, beans.
and you see these two appear.
And they die instantly because of their health.
Yeah, should have removed that.
Hey,
it was-
guys.
Well, I was going to like, I'm gonna measure to see how long it takes for them to heal. But you see those two appear, and they're kind of like cracking their neck a bit, and they start moving forward. And as they're moving forward, she's just struggling against you, and then she lets out this wordless scream, and you see this dark pulse of energy just flood out of her, and it goes, and all of you feel fairly unaffected, but you see that they still have a couple of marks. Like they have like some burns and like some blasts, and Nemeth's hand is still kind of broken. And as that blast kind of hits them, you see the bones in his hand just kind of crack into where they should be, and the burn on his face goes away, and he says, "Get out." And that's where we're going to stop for today. So thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good night, Jelly Spoons.